of our combatants are ready to go from the get-go. So without further ado, our first match will be underway right here and now. Arkham coming in with Yoshi Bowser, Arkham as Max Brass, and Bite and Bark as Yoshi, for Yoshi. Unfortunately, the players have not been properly registered. There we go, and our match is underway, and immediately Yoshi starts out with a pretty solid Seiki hit. I think Arkham was expecting that immediately, but hey, there you go. You gotta love how that one has to start out. So, we're gonna see the Tri-Blast and the nades from Arkham coming in with all explosive gear. Meanwhile, Yoshi is unfortunately gonna get grabbed by Max Brass, who is coming in with the hottest of slaps and the most electrifying of missiles, the Seiki. Arkham gonna buff up and immediately go for the rush, but a little bit too far away to probably take advantage of it, as Yoshi has enough time to get the shield up. It's getting caught out by the AoE explosions that the nades and the Tri-Blast do produce. So it's vital that they keep that a little bit at bay, but unfortunately they are going to lose their main assist, which is Bark, as they just scuttle around. They do have that extra alarm that they can throw out and also give Yoshi that extra height, but unfortunately the nades and the Tri-Blast are just completely keeping them at bay, not allowing them to even get any kind of offense out of this. And whilst Arkham has taken damage, it pales in comparison to the damage that they have inflicted on Yoshi, who however is going to be brave enough to go for the rush. Doesn't quite get the juggle up onto the Seiki, but has managed to halve Arkrim's health down quite nicely, but they still have to be very careful. Slap doesn't quite get it, and the grab attempt is going to get punched through via the rush as well. And a little bit nervous towards the end of that match there, but Arkrim will take the initial point, and we'll see if they can go 2-0 here. Neither player are going to choose to switch up their arms as Bark immediately drops, and you notice that the Tri-Blast are a very handy tool, just on the basis that not only do they cover a fair amount of ground, but also with a character like Bite and Bark, where they have to utilize Bark quite a lot, the Tri-Blast really does help keep Bark grounded, so that Yoshi cannot utilize the best of their abilities. And the rush is going to come out as well. Nice little jump from Arkrim, takes Yoshi down into critical, and another big time grab. You don't want to get too many hooks from Max Brass, and Yoshi is going to go down 2-0 there. Arkrim is going to take the initial point in our first round match of the competition. So we're going to see the two of them start doing their bans. We'll keep you up to date on what else is happening in the tournament. We currently have Cosalina versus Lau, Yam versus Blobman, and Aloya versus Melly. The winner of this match between Arkham and Yoshi will go on to take on Grimwood. The winner of Kosalau will take on Iceman. The winner of Yam Blob will take on Rafa, and Aloya and Melly are fighting to go up against Junior. Those four are our top 4 seeds, as you probably would have guessed. Doubly so. To be fair, all 4 of them have been doing pretty well consistently. But do remember that the person who won last time out was Rafa. And despite the fact that they are the number 2 seeds, they do go into this as the reigning Mosh Pit champion. So all eyes will be on them when we do inch forward to the latter stages of this tournament. Meanwhile, here and now, round 1 will continue, as Arkrim does have the initial lead, leading by 1 point to 0. Neither player going to switch off for the time being. Brass will stick with the Tri-Blast and the nade. Yoshi, meanwhile, is going to come in with double slaps. So very brave to go for that, especially on a stage like Sparring Ring, where there really isn't anywhere to really properly utilize that. And you just see Arkham is just unflinching here, just unrelentless, just completely shutting down Yoshi at every possible opportunity. Already has rush before Yoshi even has it. And the nade is going to get the final punch. And this seems relatively straightforward here for Arkham at the moment. Yoshi going to try and bring out the Megawatt, a much slower arm, but also a very beefy arm as well. And if the shot can hit, it definitely will catch Arkham out. But unfortunately, they are going to go down at the hands of another rush from Arkham. And that's one of the advantages of heavier characters like Brass, whereas like the hits can come in, but they just kind of like shrug on through it. Yes, Yoshi does have the fire element for that slap, which means if it does hit whilst charged, Brass will just immediately drop to the floor because that's its main attribute. But anything other than that is not going to take Brass out. And again, another successful read from Occam. Just jumps out of the way of the grab, goes in for the rush, gets the KO. It's a clean 2-0 for Occam. And they will be advancing on forward to round number 2. So no doubt about that entire situation. Unfortunately for Yoshi, just completely outplayed there by Occam in the end, and Yoshi will drop down into the underground bracket. It's not over for them. Remember, it's not over for them. It is a double elimination bracket, and they will take on the loser of 8, which will be whoever wins between Aloy and Melly, and then going into against Junior. So, but it's down in the underground bracket where it becomes, well, you have to do exactly what you you have to do everything in your power to stop them from going forward. But we'll soon find out what happens here, and we'll be watching the rest of the matches with great interest. But for Occam, they will now go up against Grimwood. Meanwhile, we are going to have ourselves another round 1 match, and it will be between Aloy and Melly. So we are remaining on round 1 for the time being. And it should be a relatively interesting match. I don't think I've really seen much of Melly in ARM, so this might be a new person. Either that, or they're going under a different name now. In which case, if that's the case, I do apologize. But we've seen Aloy a lot of times in a lot of different tournaments, so it'll be interesting to see how they fare here. See how close that they can get. Remember that normally with tournaments, you're looking at the top 3 spots to get a little bit of a taste of the prize pool, but I do believe now, I think it might be top 6 at this point. So yeah, just goes to show you how important it is that the more you contribute into... Oh, now looks like we got a slight issue. Yeah, we do have a slight issue, and that definitely then confirms that this is a new player, because they are just in the process of exchanging friend codes. So we're going to allow them to do that for just a moment. It shouldn't take them too long to sort that out, which is absolutely fine. So if you just bear with me for just one moment. And we are good. So, it'll be interesting to see how Mello is going to do here. I've just realised that it's Melly in the challenge and Mello in the game. So, there we go. It'll be interesting to see if they do anything as well as what Alistair did. For those of you who don't know who Alistair is, basically they've been a bit of a very interesting new player who has been on the scene in the EU Challenge Cups and have made it to the top 3, and I think they made it to the grand final for the first time ever in the previous cup. So we're going to see if Mello can have a similar journey, a similar entrance, if you will. It would be a very interesting thing to do. And whilst we await our wonderful fighters to pick their stage bands, I can indeed quickly cast my eyes to the chat, and it's good to see you all here. We got Raziel in there coming in with the cheers. We got Rafa, we got Yoshi. Nihilus obviously in charge of those commands. I see you, you're doing great work here. And also massive shouts, not just to Riffa for obviously, you know, orchestrating the mosh pit, but also for Nihilus and those behind the scenes who work on stuff like overlays and giving us chance to do what we can. So looks like we're gonna have another quick little bounce. Hopefully they will be back in just a moment. But yeah, it is good to see you all here, and I do appreciate what you all do. I think the commentating quality is better with just hey Riff. I never know what to say when people start complimenting me, especially when it's in the chat and I can see it, and it's just like you're all amazing, you know that. Bless you all so much. But seriously though, hopefully we have ourselves a wonderful time here. I can give you some more information about what's happening around at the tournament. Yam has defeated Blobman by 2-0, so they will go up against Rafa, reigning champ Rafa, in round 2. Which means we are waiting on results between Coslina and Lau, and we are obviously waiting on results for here as well. Just currently awaiting the bans still. I think it's always one of those moments where when a brand new player comes in, they don't always know all of the rules. So we'll see what happens. You know, just a little bit of patience is definitely needed for some of the newer people. And to be fair, I totally get that. I definitely know when I first started trying to play competitively, especially in tournaments, and having to very quickly realize that some places have the stage ban systems, and then going, wait, what do I need to pick from? Where's the list? So I totally get that. I totally understand what that feels like. So it definitely can feel intimidating as well. So it's important to just, you know, go through the paces, but also don't get too stressed about it, because at the end of the day, we're here to have fun. And it looks like we are all set and ready to go. Aloya is just waiting, and there we go. Aloya has now checked in to the match. DNA Lab is where we will be starting. Aloya will be on the left of your screen as Twintel, and Mello will be on the right of your screen coming in with our wonderful bouncy friend, Lollipop. Let us see what these two are going to bring to the table. Twintel is coming in with the windiest of slaps, not the fiery one. And we've also got the Hydra as well, so still at least one element of fire on show. And the same goes for Mello, although having said that, it's not just one, it's two. We got the Phoenix and the Roaster. Roaster, much like the nade that Ocarina was using with Bass, both unguided arms. So a little bit higher risk, but the reward is a lot more damage, especially when it's charged up on that Roaster. It is quite a tool. And obviously the Phoenix and the Slaps both are curved arms, so we'll see how both are utilized, especially on a stage like DNA Lab with the 6 tubes involved. A little bit of a quick little bounce, showing off Lollipop's abilities to be able to inflate pretty much willy-nilly, really, but unfortunately they're going to slide right on in to Aloria's grab, and that's going to give them the initial lead here on HP. Does have Rush already up as well, which just goes to show how much more aggressive Aloria is being with their attacks, rather than Mello, who is taking it a lot more patiently. They are going to come swinging on in to yet another grab from Aloria, and I honestly thought that was going to be a third one connecting there, but just shy of the mark on this occasion. Hydra gonna pick up another down on Lola. Again, that fiery ability means that they're immediately floored no matter how that hits, but the same can be said for the roaster, and that's exactly what Mello needs, and does get a grab as well. Starting to play Aloya at their own game now. 20 seconds left on the clock. There's actually a little bit closer than I thought, although having said that, the grab from Aloya is going to make sure that they have a much better health lead here. 10 seconds on the clock, and you know that Aloya has advantage here. Rush is going to come out, but the slap was waiting for it, and Aloya will go into the second point with advantage as well. They didn't even need to utilize their rush. A very cheeky little slap there, just catching Mello out. And there we go. So into the next match we go, and Mello immediately gets dropped by the Hydra yet again, and now a roaster as well, and Aloya is just suddenly picking up in confidence now and just going completely aggressively against Mello, not even giving them a chance to start bouncing all over the place. And that's 2 grabs now in succession from Aloya, and another quick little pick, and goodness me, Mello is unfortunately being completely outpaced here by Aloya. And yet another grab is going to connect, and that is a KO, and that is a perfect. What a display that was from Aloya. And that is going to be the first match going the way of Twintel pretty decisively. Yeah, that's... It's always unfortunate to see that kind of thing happen, but it also just tells you how consistent Aloya has become over the recent few tournaments. They've definitely had a few tournaments where they've had a dip, but then again, everybody has bad days. Everybody knows that that is a thing that happens, and it happens to some of the top players as well. But for Aloya, it just feels like with every tournament they seem to go up in confidence that little bit more. And the second they realized that they were able to take the point the way they did at the end of that first point, the second point, it's almost like they didn't even look back. Like Aloya just went, alright, I can absolutely do this, and was just completely in Mello's face the entire time. And every time you saw Mello trying to get away from them, trying to get into a little bit of space, Aloya just didn't give them the chance to do so. They were consistently closing right back in and getting a pick with either the roaster or the Hydra. Both were doing just as much work as the other. So it's it's currently it's currently going to be quite a hill to climb here for Mello. And we are going to be jumping right back into the swing of things. And we're going to go straight back to DNA Lab. And we're going to see what changes Mello does here. And what Mello brings to the table. Looks like it's going to stay with the Phoenix. No, we're going to switch out that Phoenix for a Kablammer. So we're going to keep that... no, it's not fire element. It's an explosive arm. Kablammer is absolutely an explosive arm here. And obviously has that little bit of a flick as it gets towards your opponent. So we'll see if Aloya is going to be able to telegraph that or utilize Twintel's ability, the Actress Aura, to give them a couple more opportunities to either get away from it or to just get the shield up and just take the chip damage. And a nice little slap from Aloya, just going to keep Mello on their toes and smashes them through the left hand tube. And again, just every single time they go in for just a little tap, even if it's not a charged up hit, they immediately seem to follow in with a grab, considering the fact that they are so close that they assume that Mello isn't going to have enough time to get the shield back up or at least move away. At least the tube will protect them on this occasion. Rush will not give Aloya a quick KO on this occasion. Slaps aren't hitting as much, and this is why Lola can be a bit of an issue, where the second you start allowing Lola to start moving around, especially when they start jumping and using their bounce to get them into a very sticky situation, it can be quite hard to slow them down. But Aloya is just not going to care at all. Pretty much a pixel perfect there. They did take a little bit of chip damage, but goodness me, it was just, again, Aloria just not really taking much damage at all. And we are going to see Mello drop the Kablam. It just did not work for them in the slightest. Aloy just barely got hit. Well, didn't get hit by it, really. And is once again going to drop down. Both arms weak as well. That does not help your cause in the slightest. They are going to fling in with the rush now. They're not going to get anything. And wisely gets the shield up to make sure that Aloy can't get any purchase with their own as well. Slaps and the Hydra comes whizzing out again and breaks yet another arm. It's the same one as well on the left-hand side. Roaster finally does get a punch on through, so Aloy not going to get another perfect on this occasion either. But again, it just seems one-sided here on the side of Twintel. Consistently getting shot after shot. And another charged up hit with the slam is just going to throw Mello straight back down. And Aloy knows that if they can connect with the rush, they can easily KO from this position. Arm weak though on the right-hand side, so Mello is starting to apply some pressure. And slowly but surely, they're figuring out Aloria's style. It might be too little too late, but you never know in this game. Anything can happen, and we have seen some quite remarkable comebacks. Mello not going to get the shot with the rush on this occasion. With 20 seconds left to go, Aloy does have quite the health lead, and you look at how aggressive Aloy is playing, and they know they've got this in the bag now. 10 seconds left on the clock. Are they going to go for the rush? They will go for the rush. The slam is going to hit and send Lola straight into the corner. And that is going to be another 2-0. I don't think any of the round 1 matches went to match 3. They absolutely didn't. And Aloy will keep that trend going with a 2-0 victory over Mello. So they will drop on down into the underground bracket, whereas Aloy will now progress onwards and they will take on Junior in round 2. And speaking of round 2 shenanigans, we already have a round 2 match done and dusted. And I can tell you right now that Grimwood has defeated Okrim by 2 points to 0. Nobody wants to go to a match 5. A match 5? Gosh, of course no one's going to go to a match 5. We're not even in the finals yet. Nobody wants to go to a match 3 just yet. And we've definitely had some tournaments over the past few weeks where they have been all over the place. And to be fair, that just goes to show you how close some of the matches have been. But unfortunately, on this occasion, Aloria just a little bit too dominant over Mello. But we'll see how they fare in the underground bracket. They're going to have to go up against Okrim. I can see it from the results down there. We're going to have Iceman going up against Kozalina for our first round 2 match. The other 2 matches are Rafa versus Yam and Junior versus Aloria. Like I said, we already have one result done and dusted, and that was Grimwood versus Okrim, and that was 2-0 in favour of Grimwood. So we are going to get ourselves geared up for Iceman versus Kozalina for round number 2. And there we go. I think with that we are ready to go, and our 2 respective fighters will be starting their bands here and now. Remember, we are still into best of 3s. And between these 2, we've seen them play plenty of times before. Not just against each other, but in plenty of tournaments. Iceman, obviously we know, he and Riffa are very good at winning tournaments, and we know that between them they've both got 12 each, I do believe, in Challenge Cup. Kozolina has definitely been varying, much like Lollipop, which she is about to utilize here. They're certainly a little bit topsy-turvy with how they do. And to be fair, they have been learning completely different characters, so it's always nice to see the Lola coming out. And we are going to see the Tri-Blast and the Ice Dragon for Kozolina. Meanwhile, for Iceman, they're going to come in with an Ice Dragon of their own, but also coming in with the Tri-Bolt. And look at how bouncy Kozolina is being from the get-go, not allowing Iceman to get a chance in this. Every Tri-Blast so far has found its mark. Some amazing reads here from Kozolina, and Iceman has finally does get a hit in, but it took them so long to finally get that hit. We'll see if they can turn that momentum back onto their side. They do have Min Min's Dragon Arm up for the Tri-Bolt now, and it is going to catch Lollipop out, but what a series of events that was for Kozolina. It puts them right on the bubble to try and go for this rush. They do initially get it, but Iceman is not only going to counter it, they're going to come in with a rush of their own, and they've turned this match completely on its head here. What a comeback this would be from Iceman. Both are in critical condition. Arm weak on the left-hand side, and Kozolina is not going to throw this one away. Does get another successful read with the Tri-Blast. That was a roller coaster of emotions there, but Kozolina just about takes the initial point. I honestly thought Iceman was going to pull off one heck of a comeback there. But not to be on this occasion. Both fighters sticking with their respective arms. And again, Iceman is consistently being caught out by the Ice Dragon here. Finally does get a moment to charge up the Tri-Bolt to make them that little bit bigger, that little bit more scary. But so far, Kozolina's gotten the shield up, and the AoE, the explosion from the Tri-Blast. As long as they hit something, the explosion will detonate. And Iceman getting caught out by that, and this is going to be a successful juggle from Kozolina, who get a point against Iceman. What a brilliant start to the tournament for Kozolina, taking the initial point away from Iceman. Well, I did say that Kozolina's tournament experience can very much differ between every single week, but what a way to start by completely... I mean, honestly, I thought that we were going to see a perfect from Kozolina in the first point, and then I thought we were going to see a monumental comeback from Iceman, but Kozolina just about managed to nip it in the bud. And then at that second point, it was that little bit more relaxed for Kozolina. It was still very intense. We know Iceman can fight their way out of any situation, but Kozolina had to find a way of just not giving them the chance to do so. And so many good reads with the Tri-Blast as well definitely helped out. We're going to see Iceman switch out into Ribbon, coming in with the nade and the hottest of slaps. Get poked a little bit by the bolt, but very different characters here. Whereas Min Min relies so much on that left Dragon Arm, Ribbon Girl just is all about the speed. It's all about just dashing, sliding around, double jumps in, just you name it. Ribbon Girl will do everything in her power to just not get hit and get themselves into a position where they can thwart Lollipop. But do remember that Lola does like to be in the air just as much as Ribbon does. Rush is going to come out. The slams will potentially break shield. It does break the arm, and Iceman does manage to get a little bit of a tap in. And again, all of the aggression here has been on Iceman. The damage, well, it speaks for its own. They have the health lead, and with 50 seconds left on the clock, Kozolina does have the rush, and we know the dragon can deal a lot of damage in the rush, but when you're on the cusp of critical, now is probably not the time to really go for that, knowing full well that Iceman can easily just get a couple more hits in. And just like no sooner have I said that, there is the punch that takes Koza into critical. 30 seconds left on the clock. Iceman does have their rush as well, so they're just going to do what they can to just keep Kozolina at bay. They are going to get caught by a very long-range grab from Kozolina. I guess they must have thought that they'd be able to punch through it from afar, but unfortunately they completely mistimed it. 10 seconds left on the clock. Iceman, I think, has this. I don't think Kozolina is going to be able to take this away, and with 5 seconds to go, they absolutely will not at this point. Iceman will hold on to the health lead, and that will be a timeout win for the iciest of Ribbon Girls. I say the ices of Ribbon Girls. Not really very cold arms, are they? The slap and the nade, but you get the general gist of it. Kaza gonna come in with the Tri-Blast, and now coming in with the Hydra, so they are now gonna try and just completely stall out Ribbon Girls. Complete mobility in the air. Unfortunately, trying to go for the quick poke punish does not work in their favor, and they are gonna get caught out by the rush from Iceman. And finally, the Tri-Blast catches up to them. Obviously, you can see what Kozlina's game plan here is. Utilizing both horizontal and vertical bolts, it really is going to just keep Iceman guessing as to which way they are going to be allowed to go. But so far, the slaps have been finding their mark. Well, at least for the most part. Even if they just hit the shield, you know that Kozlina cannot afford to let one of them slip on by. The Hydra is at least going to pick Ribbon Girl up before she even leaves the ground, which is always crucial. If you can keep Ribbon Girl grounded, it makes their life so much harder. And both on relatively same health here, and both with a rush ready to go. Unfortunately, the nade is going to block Kozlina in, and the rush will come out. But the counter rush from Kozlina is spot on. Sent Iceman into critical. Didn't quite get the juggle that they were looking for, but now they are just a punch away from taking this point away from Iceman. And Kozlina is technically on set point here. One more win would book their ticket into the semi-finals, and it would be a pleasant surprise. Of that there is no doubt. Do remember that Iceman did get the bye, so they've had a match less to do here. I mean, it is still early stages of the tournament, but Kozlina's looking pretty consistent at the moment here. The Bolt just missing their mark for the time being. Do remember that Iceman has a pair of their own. Looks like they popped the slaps away. So yeah, just trying to cancel out their respective bolts, but unfortunately they're going to fall. No, they didn't fall foul to it. I honestly thought Kozlina had that completely done and dusted, but Iceman apparently managed to get the block and come in with the rest of their rush. So unfortunate there for Kozlina, but they do remain on relatively the same health here, so it's not been the end of the world for Kozlina, but they definitely thought that they had that counter rush in the bag. Kind of bounced and kind of being stuck in this corner here a little bit more, and Iceman starting to pick that momentum up. Arm weak on the left hand side, and the rush is going to come out. No shield up in time, and Kozlina is just a punch away from going down. Does manage to get a little bolt pick, and is the rest of this going to come through? It does. The nade follows on through. It didn't get stopped by anything, and Iceman is going to tie the setup. We are going to see match number 3 for the first time in our second mosh pit. I think it'll be safe to say that Kozlina will be a little annoyed by how that match played out in the end. And it looks like we're going to go straight back to Mausoleum. Kozlina knows what they want to go for, so it looks like that is exactly what we are going to see. I think it was Sparring and Via that was banned. And we are going to see a switch. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with how the matches will work, if a fighter does decide, if a winner does decide to switch characters, they have to announce that since they won the previous point. The loser does not. The loser can switch. Why are we back at Temple Grounds? Why are we back at Temple Grounds? I am very confused. Well, we are. Yep, that's what I thought had happened. That wonderful moment where I was just like, alright, I'm pretty sure that's not Mausoleum. I mean, it's kind of close, but not quite. So yeah, a slight technical issue there, but we're going to see the pair of them jump straight back in. Hopefully they won't take too long. But yeah, it wouldn't be a tournament if at least we didn't have one slight technical hiccup there. But yeah, we are going to see both fighters come back in. It will be Mausoleum. Iceman is going to switch back to Min Min, and Kozlina will be coming back in with the Lola. So let's see what Iceman's response is going to be here. Bearing in mind that they really did not get a chance to utilize the Ice Dragon last time round. They've got the Chakram on it this time round, but again, the Dragon is going to quickly pick them out, and Kozolina is going to hope that they can stay out of trouble in terms of that Chakram and not allow Iceman to get that perma charged up, because that will be an absolute hindrance to their playstyle. Both not really netting so much with the Dragon at the moment, although Arm Weak on the right-hand side for Iceman is not going to help them, and they do get knocked down as well, and the arm does break. Dragon didn't quite get a lick of damage in the end, but Iceman finds a spot to get the Chakram charged up, and Kozolina knows that's a devastating tool to go up against. Thankfully for them, Iceman didn't get the proper advantage, and Koza baits out the deflect from Iceman, waiting full well for the peak of that grab, and then just blocks it out with their rush. Grab does come through for Iceman, but another quick little chain of 1-2 hits puts Kozolina on the cusp of taking this match away from Iceman as well. Chakram not built up to speed. Unfortunately, Kozolina is just consistently moving, but the grab is going to catch them by surprise, and it gives Iceman the chance to charge up that ramp. But again, it's the Tri-Blast that is going to come in clutch for Kozolina. Just picks them just as they go for the jump. The kick from Min Min not going to deflect it in time. Kozolina has another chance to wrap this setup, as Iceman is going to drop the Dragon and come in with a Sparky. So we're going for a shock stun loadout, as Kozolina is just going to continue doing what they do best, coming in with the Tri-Blast and the Dragon, but unfortunately double committed and could not retract in time. Iceman gets a free punish as a result of their rush, and also gets the Sparky up as well. So crucially, they have switched the arm that the Dragon arm will give the perma buff to, and it is going to be the Sparky on this occasion. But unfortunately, the ice from the Ice Dragon is going to completely rob the ability there, and that's why you see the Sparky just immediately go back to its normal size. Both arms weak here, and Kozolina is just going to pile on so much pressure to try and keep both of those arms in a state, but Iceman, realizing that was probably going to be the play from Koza, comes in with the rush and a successful rake up read with the grab as well. Going to keep that glove charged up. Koza in critical, both arms down, and down they go. Does manage to get a little bit of a punch back on Min Min and actually catch them just on the ground, but just not able to jump out of the way of the Chakram. It catches them just by the ankle. And this set is tied up at, well, the set is one apiece, but so is this match. Final round, Chakram, Sparky, they're going to switch out the loadout here, Iceman, as in the Chakram is now going to be back on the perma charge arm, but they've been frozen not once but twice and caught out by the rest of the rush, and big time damage from the Dragon. 370 puts Kozolina at a massive advantage, but they are going to fall foul of a grab attempt from Iceman. Gives them a chance to get the Chakram charged back up. Make that 2 grabs in succession from Iceman. A third one would definitely put pay to any momentum Kozolina has, and there it is. And Koza is being walled out here by Iceman's aggression. Finally gets stopped, and the trampoline is out as well. But look at the fact that Iceman has rushed already, and that was an unfortunate commitment there from Kozolina, both at critical, and Iceman is going to wall Koza completely off and turns this set around. And Iceman is going to win and take it to the semi-finals. After all of that, Kozolina is not going to go any further in the above bracket. They'll have to fight in the underground bracket. Iceman wins by 2 points to 1. Oh, goodness me. That was so close, but just not to be from Kozolina. And again, they had such a good start in that final point, but Iceman just had the confidence to just do what Aloy did in their first match. Just play so aggressively, so into Kozolina's face. It just didn't give them a chance to bounce on out in time, and it does mean that so far all of the top seeds are pretty much making it through here, and I say that knowing full well that Junior has beaten Lawyer by 2 points to 0. So well, it's up to Rafa then. Rafa is going to be the one who will decide if the top 4 seeds all make it through into winning the semi-final, or if we're going to see a little bit of a shake-up as Yam is going to be taking them on here. Alright, so we will be good to go here. Rafa versus Yam. Rafa does come into this as the reigning Mosh Pit champion, having won the previous one ahead of Iceman and Grimwood. And obviously both of those will be hoping to take that title from them. But we're going to see if anything can happen in the early goings here. So far, all of the top 4 have made it through into the next round. We know Grimwood will take on Iceman in our first semi-final. Junior will take on the winner of this match, and we'll see what happens here. Rafa coming in on the left-hand side of your screen. They'll be coming in as Kid Cobra. Yam will be coming in as Min Min. So we're going to see that dragon arm on display once again. And we're also going to see the agile movement of Rafa with the Kid Cobra, who's going to be slipping and sliding all over the place. And he's also going to come in with that slam and the popper as well. One of the quicker arms in the game, but also one of the lighter ones as well. Can be punched through by anything, but you wouldn't think that with how quick out of the box Rafa is playing, not giving Yam a chance to even utilize the power soul or the roaster. Finally does get a hit in and charges the roaster up. So yes, it's still an unguided arm, but now the damage on it is going to be that little bit more scary. But they are in the one spot that they don't really want to be here. Although, having said that, we've seen Yam just go down to the hot pocket of their own accord and just chill there for some time. Rush is going to come out from Rafa, not going to get anything, and the tables get turned completely. 360 damage from Yam at the result of that rush, but they are the ones who are still in critical first. So whilst they've managed to snip Rafa's health down, they've still got a fair amount of work to do to land these punches and keep Rafa at bay, which, to be fair, that arm is consistently weak there on the left hand side, does finally float away. And despite how quick Rafa is being, they are still being clipped every now and then by the power soul and the roaster. And now will join Yam into critical, but quickly slides on in for a big time grab. Just like Brass, they do that little bit more damage with their grabs. And this is a very scary situation for both players, but finally it is Yam who's going to go down first. Popper just about finding its mark, and Rafa will take the initiative here, and they're now going to switch completely. They're going to switch up their loadout completely. Going to keep the popper, but now they're going to bring in the megawatt. So we're going to see a light arm going paired up with the big heavy arm of the watt. And we've seen Rafa pull this style off so many times before, where the megawatt can sometimes just come in on the back burner and just juggle with the popper. And no sooner have I said that, they also get a little bit of a push with the popper as well, taking Yam's rush completely out of contention and coming on in with 365 damage, plus 20 with that little extra poke, which is why I always round it up to that at that point. And again, look at the aggression from Rafa. Just the megawatt just punches through everything that Yam has, and if the popper connects, you know full well the megawatt is just gonna go through uncontested. Finally, the power soul does come out, but Yam is in such a sticky position, and Rafa will take the first point in this match. Nothing else to really say there. Rafa just completely dominant there, just not allowing Yam a chance to really get a proper foothold. I mean, the first match could have gone, the first point could have really gone either way, but the second point, Rafa just completely took Yam out of it, just did not let them have a chance to come back in. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll see if Yam is going to be able to find a way of slowing Rafa down in any way, shape or form. That loadout, like I said, it's such a dangerous combination, because if the megawatt, like for example, if the popper leads and finds a poke, then the wind either sets them up for a rush combination or a cheeky little extra poke if the watt is close enough behind. If the megawatt leads and manages to find a hit, the popper is going to capitalize almost immediately, and if that's not already following on behind, you know the grab is going to come up from Cobra, because Cobra's grab does that little bit more damage. So it's always a devastating combination to go up against, as we see match number 2 coming out. I do believe something has gone wrong on the scorecard. I do apologize here. entirely sure what's happened there, but there we go. I'll just quickly get that up to date for you. There we go, that should be now fixed. Match number 2 is underway. Rafa's going to come in with a Ram now, combined with that Rosa. So going for an all fiery fight here. Meanwhile, Yam is going to stick with that Power Sword, but also going to come out with a Phoenix. So both playing with a curved firearm, but again, it's Yam who is being consistently beaten up here. Rafa's just landing shot after shot, and with Yam being in the hot pocket, there's not many places you can really move to without getting hit by something, although they finally do get a connection with the Phoenix and do get the Dragon Arm up, but again, just overcommitment. Cobra was already to the left of them, and just, they were so close, they didn't even need to throw out anything else. It was just straight up a KO. And nothing that Yam could have done about it. Now, they're going to come out with the other variant of the Popper. They're going to come out with the Cracker now. So, it's a fire element instead of wind. So, it does that little bit extra damage. It still goes just as quick. And we're going to see Rafa not connect with the rush this time. Just chip damage and nothing more than that. Going to come out with a roaster of their... I'm going to come out, yeah, with the roaster now. So, unguided arm along with the curved tool. Everybody pretty much using fire in this match. Roaster is going to get just about thwarted by the Phoenix, which, to be fair, is the only arm Yam has to really block anything else here. As again, the Cracker is just going to get poked on through, definitely by the Roaster. And if timed correctly, the Ram can, but again, Yam is just hoping that they can fire off the Cracker in a decent position whilst the Roaster is still coming on in, so they can at least take Rafa down somehow. And to be fair, it is kind of working, both on similar health here, as Rafa does get another big time grab. Rush is ready to be utilized, and oh, unfortunately for Yam, just slides straight back on into it, and it means that Rafa is just one poke away, and there is the poke they were looking for. Nothing that Yam could have done about it. The second they backed into that rush, it was pretty much game over. Rafa knew all they needed was one more poke, and Yam unfortunately was not able to deal with how quick and aggressive Rafa's Cobra is. It does mean it's another 2-0, and yeah, reigning champ is indeed through to the next match. And there we go. So, let me just see what is currently going on. We've got plenty of situations going on in and around us, but yeah, like I said, the top 4 are indeed through into the semi-finals. In the underground bracket, we're going to see Aloria knock out Yoshi Bowser. That match going the distance, 2 points to 1. So unfortunately, Yoshi is going to get eliminated here. Okrim is going to take Mello out as well. They win by 2 points to 0. So Aloria and Okrim through into underground round 2. We are going to be waiting now for results between Yam versus Lau and Kosalina versus Dwarfman. Those 2 matches will decide who goes up against Aloria and Okrim respectively. In the meantime, we are going to see our first semi-final of the day. And our first semi-final will go the way of... who are we having first? It's going to be Iceman versus Grimward. And I see both of our respective fighters are not hanging around in the slightest. They know exactly what they want to see. They know exactly what they want to do. Iceman on the left-hand side of your screen. Grimwood on the right. And we've been seeing Grimwood utilize Coil so many times as of late. So don't be surprised to see our wonderful scientists make an appearance in this competition. Iceman coming in with the nade and the Triblast, sticking with those explosive big guns. But very quickly being popped out of the sky by Coil, who very much excels at being in the air as well, just being able to hover and just float there for as long as possible, and also get that shield up at times when you really don't expect it to be there. Chakram and Nade is going to be the order of the day for Coil, and is going to punch right on through the left-hand side of Iceman. You can see the damage is just being done, just chalked up consistently here. And it's rare you see Ribbon Gun not be able to take advantage of being in the air, but Coil just is able to do everything in her power to just negate that, really. And obviously, with that added invisibility, basically when they wake up, it really is a 50-50 about which way you want to commit to try and catch Coil. And another knockdown from Grimwood is going to put Iceman straight into critical. And obviously you can see the double arms coming out from either side, and Grimwood is, well, did initially get the catch on Iceman, but they just got away off onto the side, so it keeps them in this match. Caught out by the Chakram. The stun was not taken advantage of, but that's okay, because two nades will make absolutely sure that A, one of them will hit, and B, it will explode in Iceman's face and take them down past the 0 mark. Triblast is going to stay in, but we're going to see the hottest of slaps now from Iceman. We'll see if the curve tool can get around the nades, but will they get negated by the Chakram still? We'll have to wait and see. And so far, well, they finally do get a little bit of a hit in with the Triblast, but again, Grimwood already off to a very decent start, and, well, if one nade misses, the other probably will hit. Remember that both are still very much unguided arms, so it really is, again, just sometimes it's just a bit down to luck whether or not you're able to dodge the second one that's coming in just a little bit more off to the center. As another mid-air pick for Grimwood is going to drop Iceman right onto the floor. Does manage to get something with the slaps, but it's just not enough at the moment. Grimwood is just making sure Iceman can't do anything. Again, gets the initial hit in with the Chakram, but can't follow through with the rest of the rush. Iceman just pushed off this a little bit to the left, but it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things because Grimwood is just on a roll with Coil at the moment. And we are going to see Coil take the initiative yet again. And it is going to be 1-0 to Grimwood. I do apologise, the title is still saying round 1. It is not round 1. We are in the semi-finals now. Didn't realise we didn't have the winners semi-finals. That's funny. One of the things I slightly missed out on and didn't realise there wasn't a semi-final tag. There's one for underground semi-final, but not for winners semi-finals, which is, oops, that was my bad. I didn't double check that. But that's okay. And, we already have that little bit of confusion when you're so used to the rotation of where the matches are. You sometimes forget that some stages get switched out every now and then. And for this time round, it is going to be Ninja College coming out. And Iceman quickly realized, oh no, we don't have Scrapyard. It's Ninja College. Sorry, I'm not playing on that. And we're going to not only go back to Mausoleum, but we're going to see a Coil Ditto. I hope you're looking forward to this. Red Coil versus normal Coil. We're going to see double the... well, I say double toaster. It's going to be triple toaster because Coil's ability gives them that little bit extra oomph. So we're going to see if 3 fireballs are going to be able to better the Triblast and the nade approach of Grimwood. It is literally fire versus explosives. And doesn't fire set off the explosive? Iceman's going to have to be very careful with this then. And already getting knocked down by the explosive arms that Grimwood is just throwing relentlessly here. And just waits for the gloves to bounce off the shield. Realizing that Iceman had fully committed. And that is a free rush for you, my good friend. Iceman already past the halfway mark, and again, Grimwood is just being annoying to hit. Finally does get caught by the grab, and it gives Iceman a chance to just stay in that middle section, but Grimwood doesn't really mind that so much. They're just able to just float on away, and so far Iceman is just, they're not hitting as consistently as they'd like to, and the nade is just gonna punch straight on through. And there we go. Grimwood has the initiative here and is on the precipice of just going straight on through. So we'll see if Iceman could do anything about it. Tri-Blast and Nade's going to stay for Grimwood and actually gets the mini juggle as well. I honestly thought Iceman was about to hit the floor, but the game says nope, just in the nick of time. Grimwood gets as much out of that rush as possible. And Iceman now gets caught with the grab. This could be a perfect for Grimwood if Iceman isn't careful enough. And it is going to at least get a little bit of chip damage at the hands of the Seakeeper. The grab will seal the deal. And Grimwood, just like that, is... oh, goodness me. It's just... it is relentless. It's absolutely relentless. From Grimwood. It's 2-0 to them already. And it does look like the semi-finals are going to be best of fives as well. I think, like I said, you get so into the zone of having things go the set way. I completely forgot that semi-finals here actually do go to best of fives here. So we are going to see another set roll out here. And I can also tell you that Kozolina, in the midst of all of this, has also taken Blobman out by 2 points to 0. So it'll be Kozolina versus Okrim in Underground Round 2. The only match then we are waiting on is Yam versus Lau, and we'll give you updates to that where it happens. And for the first time in what feels like ages, we're going to see Ninja College come out in a competitive arms tournament. Papa is going to be coming up for mid, but immediately gets shut down by, well, which nade do you want? It's a triple nade fiesta here that Grimwood is just unloading onto Iceman. Finally does get a little bit of a pick. And obviously the sheer verticality in this stage, it really does feel like it should favor Coilwood, just how much that they could just float and be in the air and just keep Iceman pressured into their respective corners. And the nade is going to make absolutely sure that Iceman remains on the lower ground. And just look at how consistent Grimwood has been, not just with their movement, but with their punches. They're always telegraphing where Iceman potentially is going to move on to, which is just making their life just miserable at the moment. Already on the cusp of KO. There is the KO. Another nade explodes right into Min Min's face. There just seems to be nothing that Iceman can do about this at the moment. The roles now do get reversed. Min Min will start on the higher ground, coming in with a non-elemental big glove. You like to see it happen, but it's immediately going to get shut down. Again, pick your nade. Which one of them will get it? And Grimwood, I honestly thought they didn't slide that far off to the side, but yeah, apparently they absolutely did, and the nade just punched right on through, and nothing Iceman could have done about it. Grimwood again just stays on the middle platform. It's going to take a couple of these punches to the face, but it's not charged up enough for them to get the punch down that they would like. And Grimwood just remains in the air. And, well, the tables have now been turned. Iceman is now in the position where they do not want to be in. And, unfortunately, they're doing all right now. They're actually getting the dodges in. And finally does punch on through the grab attempt and gets the rush as well. So this will put themselves right back into contention, keeping that arm up. And gets the grab! The audacity to go for the grab in the midst of a rush of all things. And they are going to catch in. I think they caught a self-destruct in there. The big old buff is going to come on through. And Iceman is going to tie this one up. So has the potential to force a match 4 out of this. Grimwood is still going to try and just keep this high ground and keep this pressure on Iceman. Now, I think that caught us all by surprise to see Iceman, like I said, not shy to not go for those comebacks, because we love to see them. But it is Grimwood who has the high ground now and does have rush available to them. And the nade again is going to rob Iceman off their Dragon Charge. Gonna go for the rush, but again, Coil was already sliding off to the right-hand side. And that was going to be another free rush hit for Grimwood. An Iceman on the cusp of critical cannot afford to be caught out by these nades again. Three of them not finding the mark. Does find a little toaster poke, but it's not charged, so it doesn't floor them immediately. That one finally does. And the momentum does start to switch a little bit here, just about avoiding the nade on that occasion, and punches Coil straight into the corner. But unfortunately, they went the left-hand side, and now they are just one poke away from Grimwood taking this as a 3-0. Rush is available from Grimwood, and Min Min is going to jump straight into the big old nadey glove. And Grimwood is going to come through yet again. It's a clean sweep for Grim. 3 points to 0. Commiserations to Iceband, but there's still plenty to play for. Do remember that they are going to be in the underground brackets and they will be fighting up from there. In the meantime, we'll now be switching on over to semi-final number 2. And I hope you're looking forward to that, my friends, because it is reigning champion Rafa who will be going up against Junior. And immediately both of them are just straight on in. They're not even going to wait. They're not even going to wait at all. We know what these two are capable of. Junior has been making a good amount of progress with everything that they've been doing over the past few months. And obviously we know that Rafa won the very first Mosh Pit. And they're going to do everything in their power to retain that title if they can. We also know how devastating that Cobra is, how quick they can be, but we also know that Junior is not going to shy around that too well. This is going to be our second ditto of the day. We got 2 Cobras, Junior on the left hand side of your screen, shock, horror, disbelief. They're coming in with the Guardian alongside the Ram Ram. Rafa meanwhile going to come in with the combination we saw them use so well against Jam in the previous set, the Popper and the Megawatt. And well, this is going to be a very interesting one. Both come with a shock element, but obviously that Guardian is going to be a little bit scary. And obviously Rafa doesn't really have a curved arm to go around it, so they're going to have to really rely on positioning more than anything here. Just remember that it does act as an additional shield, but so far it hasn't been blocking them too much, although the arm is going to go down on the right hand side, and it leaves the Guardian a nice little chance to just take a little bit of damage away from Rafa. Both participants with rush ready to go, which is honestly no surprise to anybody here. They're both very aggressive at what they do, and the shield was up just a little too long there for Junior, and they are going to get punished as a result. Rafa with the health lead as it stands, but obviously anything can change with this, and we know that the Guardian is a pretty nice tool, but so far every single time it's gone back into the retract state. You see Rafa just pokes on in with the pop because they know that the Ram isn't going to hit in time, so it's almost like a free hit, but the Guardian is designed to do exactly that. Find a way of sneaking round to the side, and this is going to be rushed from Junior, but it's not going to connect. It's going to be chip damage and nothing more, and now Rafa is going to come in, but they walk straight into the Guardian. It's going to at least deflect the Megawatt. Rafa is just in the nick of things and finally does get taken down by Junior. Very close set from the 2 Cobras, but it just about goes the way of Junior, who takes the initial points, and we're going to see what Rafa is going to bring to the table here, and it is going to be a Phoenix to go alongside that Megawatt, so they're going to try and get around that Guardian a little bit more consistently now. And obviously Junior going to keep that Ram in bay, and obviously that Ram is going to try and help negate the Phoenix, but crucially for Junior, that wasn't charged up, but the shock again from the Guardian is going to catch them out. And it gives Rafa a chance to really just slide on into this, and the Megawatt again just bouncing off the shield. The actual shield, not the Guardian shield. And here comes the first rush of this match. Rafa is going to get all of this. Megawatt and all sends Junior into critical. And they've got a fair bit to punch back through here. And again, you just see how slippery and slidey the Cobras are. Does manage to get the grab to confirm and actually pops Rafa a little bit closer, but now one more punch is all Rafa is looking for to tie this up, but another grab from Junior puts Rafa into KO range, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. Rafa went from just being a punch away from tying this up to a punch away from being KO'd, and well, that is just how it goes. So Junior will start with the initiative here, leading the set by 1-0. Let's see what Rafa's response is going to be here. So far it's been very close from start to finish, but Junior just had that little extra consistency to just send it over the edge and bag them the win. But we know full well that this is not over by a long shot. These are two very, very good Cobra players, and we know for a fact that barring any kind of confidence issue, or maybe just like a tactical deploy, you don't see either of these players switching off Cobra, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. Mausoleum is going to be the call, so away from Buster Beach, back into the Mausoleum. We do see that Burchok in the back there for Rafa, and we are going to see it come out as well. Coming alongside the Popper. Junior not going to switch. Well, I say not going to switch anything. We got the Guardian come back out, but we have a Hydra in now. And the Guardian is going to get the first act of the day as well. And remember, the Burchok does have two different modes of attacking. One on the ground and one in the air. So we'll always depend on what Rafa wants to go for here. But so far, they have definitely been the more consistent with the hits. And Junior is just getting caught out by the combination of the Burr and the Popper. Either one is too quick, or the other is coming in at an angle that they just can't block. And they're going to have to rely on that little bit of a consistent nature that they had in the previous match to try and turn this back around yet again. Both now on similar health. Rafa is going to go for the rush, and actually is going to score it from a decent range as well. And Junior gets caught out by another Popper hit, and all Rafa is looking for once again is one more hit. But we've seen Junior denied him that well, twice so far, it must be said. And again, just that sheer intimidation with having the rush in the pocket as well, and actually going to go for it. Does catch it initially, but Rafa is going to block out the rest of it. But the Popper finally will put paid to that comeback attempt. But the fact that the rush had to come out at all just goes to show you how scared Rafa has been of Junior so far. We are going to see the nade coming out alongside the Guardian. Rafa not going to switch anything. The Popper and Burchok definitely working out slightly better for them. On this occasion, the grab is going to get punched through by the nade. It's going to be a little bit harder for Rafa to really go up against, although having said that, they do get all of that rush again, 340 damage, and immediately went straight into Junior's face. Junior initially didn't want anything to do with it, but is now just getting completely bombarded here, and Rafa suddenly has momentum on their side of the field. Junior just can't seem to keep up with the directions that the Burchok is coming in. Finally, the nade does find a way on through. A little bit of lag there as we see Junior just teleport from one side of the stage to the other. It is going to finally get a little bit of a trip on Rafa, who just starts to circle around. Absolutely won't mind that in the slightest. Both goes for the rush, but it's Junior who wins out the exchange thanks to the Guardian. Rafa is a punch away from going down yet again as the Guardian comes out just in the nick of time, and the punch from Junior is going to tie this point up yet again. Junior determined not to let that bug them too much. But Rafa, well, Rafa does not want to see Junior win yet another point. The last thing they want to do is go 2-0 down in this set. It's a little bit harder to come back from. We've seen it happen before, but they will not want that in the slightest. And Junior with the nade and the Guardian definitely has found their rhythm a little bit more here on this match. But Rafa is still confident in their abilities with the Burchuck and the Popper grab. Gonna just swing off to the left-hand side, and Rafa's gonna get a free poke as a result. And so far, it's just jump after jump here between the pair of them as the rush is gonna come out. Popper is gonna land, and the juggling starts to commence. 280 damage on Junior there. They do still have rush available, so they know full well if they can get a shot or a good opportunity to go in for the kill, they will do so. Juggling on up for 280 will make that 300 damage thanks to that little extra poke, and just like that, they have leveled the playing field. And to be fair, Rafa hasn't been as aggressive here, so they haven't really got that much of a head start on the rush either, so these next few punches are absolutely crucial, and Junior is going to find themselves in critical, but they're still landing some explosions of their own. Rafa not too far away from them. The arm weak on the left-hand side, that will give Rafa the belief to really start going for that now. 20 seconds left on the clock. Rafa wins out on the grab. The grab is going to take it for Rafa, and that is going to tie this set up 1 apiece. No matter what happens now, we are going to see match 4. But Rafa proving why they're the reigning champ, proving why they're just as good with the Cobra as Junior, tying this set up. And, well, we've still got a ways to go in this set. Whilst the two collect themselves and get their stages banned, we can tell you that Yam took out Lyle by 2 points to 0 as well in the Underground bracket. So Underground round 1 is done. Underground round 2 will now be commencing down there. Aloria will be going up against Yam. We've seen those two go up against each other so many times in so many different tournaments, so that will always be interesting. And the same goes for Kozlina Okrim. We'll see what those two matches will give us here. The winner of Aloria versus Yam will take on Iceman in Underground round 3. The winner of Kozlina Okrim will take on the loser of this match, which could potentially go the distance. You never know. Rafa versus Junior, both doing very well here with their respective Cobras. And it's always nice that even when you go into Dittos, it doesn't always mean you'll have the same arm combination, because each player has their own playstyle. They have their own arms that they like to use more for whatever reason. And both playstyles absolutely work. Junior makes the Guardian work full stop. Like, just being able to just either slide on by, like you just forget about the Guardian for one moment and it zooms in, it locks on, and it shocks you. And it also acts as that little extra shield. Yes, it can be played around by curved arms, as we have seen a good few times. Or whilst it's retracting, a very quick arm like the Popper could just immediately take advantage of that and get that hit nailed in before the actual shield can even come up. For Rafa, on the other hand, they have that Popper, and then they have different playstyles that they go with. Like, they've got the Burchoke, so it gives them 3 different modes of attacking instead of just the normal 2. They've got the Megawatt, where they can just play the slow arm with fast arm. There's so many different ways of being able to play each character in this game, and we are seeing that in this set right now. And we're going to see Rafa come out with that Popper Megawatt combination as we talked about, and the Ram is going to come out with the Guardian this time round for Junior. As we head into our other counterpick stage of this competition, it is Viadol's making an appearance, in the Guardian again just snaking on around, catching Rafa in the butt, and it's going to try and keep them in this square if they can. Remember, Cobra is very much designed to try and play that a little bit more aggressively, and keeping them boxed in these pockets is very much part of their MO here. And you can tell that the Guardian is just consistently walling the Watt out every time Rafa tries to lean in on it. And Junior, with how many times they've thrown that Guardian out here, has already charged up their rush. And again, the Megawatt just bounces harmlessly off the Guardian every single time. And so far, Rafa has just not been consistent. Finally does get themselves out of the square, and look at how quickly that turns around. Just a couple of pokes from that popper, and suddenly Junior has to contest with a completely different arm, because suddenly it's doing a lot more work. Finally getting Rafa down into critical and actually catches them out with the ram as well. Does get caught by the popper again just as they go in for the arm retract, and that's how crucial it is that Rafa can keep those hits up. Junior on the cusp of critical, and Rafa, oh no! That was so smooth from Junior, committed to the rush, the grab because they were way too close, gets the punish, and it means that Rafa has no rush whatsoever going into match number 2. And well, that's just unfortunate for Rafa there, as we're going to see the Megawatt and Popper come right back out again. And well, there you go. Megawatt actually punched through. I think Rafa was quite expecting it to happen that quickly. And the rush comes out from Junior, but it's chip damage and nothing more, as the Popper yet again catches Junior on the bounce. And so far, Rafa definitely in a much more better position here, despite how that initial point ended. Tried to go for the aerial grab, but not only was Junior a bit to the left already, they got the punish as well. But they're going to get their just rewards, 355 damage on the rush. But again, Junior has the audacity to just go for these wake-up grabs. You don't sometimes expect it to happen, and then suddenly Junior's like, oh yeah, I'm going to grab you now. And obviously they do that a little bit more damage as a result of having the Guardian as well. So it's just like that little extra thing to just keep an eye on every now and then. The Guardian tries to snake on through. Rafa is just looking for one more punch. It's always one more punch for Rafa. It's all they're looking for. And the Popper doesn't quite make it again. And Junior has to play so aggressively. But unfortunately, Rafa is going to play it patiently enough to finally get that poke on through. And again, we're going to see another little tied up match here. As the Watt immediately bounces right on off the Guardian. Neither player switching from anything, and Junior catches Rafa just as they go for the jump, and gives themselves a very good start going into this match, and also catches out with the ram as well. It was a really crucial moment, but Rafa just jumps straight over Junior's own punch. 395 damage as a result, and quickly levels the playing field, and again catches again with the Popper. Every single time Junior seems to think that they've got everything blocked, the Popper is just so quick, it catches you by surprise. They both have their elements of surprise, whether it's the Guardian sneaking around the back, or it's the Popper just straight up being like, hey, I'm one of the fastest arms in the game. Pretty much one more hit is all Rafa is looking for. Never mind a hit, let's just have a grab. Reigning champ Rafa is going to finally take the lead of this set by 2 points to 1. Expertly done by Rafa, but it's certainly not over yet. Both of these players still have plenty to prove, but I wonder if you feel like an arm change might be coming soon here for Junior, because whilst the Guardian has been working pretty nicely, and especially it has been helping just fend off the Megawatt, Rafa is getting through it more times than not now. It's like during the initial part of the set, Junior was definitely getting some hits in with the Guardian, but it seems like Rafa is getting the better of it the longer these sets go in. The Guardian is still going to be there, but you see Junior has that bird hook of their own in the back now. But I don't think we're going to see it come out anytime soon, as we see Sparring Ring for the second time today. I thought for a split second Junior was going to go double Guardian. That would be a brave move to make at this stage of the competition. They are going to stick with the Guardian and the Ram. Meanwhile, Rafa's going to bring in a Phoenix now. So, going to go for a slight different play and see if this works out. They are going to get the better of the Guardian for the time being. And the Watt goes through uncontested. And again, another little cheeky poke with the Phoenix. And again, it's playing off the Popper combination as well. Whereas if the Phoenix can get a hit, even if it's not charged, the Megawatt will come back in to follow up for some tasty damage. And you can see how that's faring already. Although having said that, once again, don't forget about the Guardian. Junior gets the shock into a grab combination and also has rush available, mind you. So does Rafa now. And again, they have to rely on the Guardian to keep the Mega Ward at bay. And neither player really wants to take center stage here. They're both absolutely fine staying in their respective corners. Junior hops in and out every now and then just to see if they can bait any kind of response out of Rafa. And so far, it's working relatively okay. The Ram does poke on through yet again, but another big time grab from Rafa. Nets 175. Make that 2 in succession. And Rafa is determined to book their ticket into winners final. And another nice big time grab is going to make absolutely sure that they have a chance to do exactly that. So what will be the decision here? Junior going to stick with the Guardian and the Ram. And Rafa is going to swap back into that Popper. So we'll see what happens here. Obviously, remember, Spawn Ring is a lot more condensed, a lot more straightforward, no really gimmicks at all. Just a nice boxed circle. I say box circle, box square. You get the general idea. And both participants are going to hit their respective rushes. So pretty much a level playing field here as Junior does finally get caught by another charged up Popper hit. And worst of all, they get hit by the charged Megawatt. And that puts them in a very dangerous situation here where they've got to do a fair bit of work, but that is going to be it. But they caught Rafa in midair just in the nick of time, but it doesn't matter anyway because Rafa does take the victory in the end. It's 3 points to 1. We will not see match number 5 come up. Reigning champion Rafa turns the set around and wins by 3 points to 1. Great gameplay from both of these fighters. They do this so well on a regular basis, but on this occasion it is going to be the Cobra of Rafa who is going to make it through into winners final, where they will take on Grimwood. Meanwhile, down in the underground bracket, Yam has taken out Aloya by 2 points to 1, and Okrim has taken out Kosalina also by 2 points to 1. So we are going to see in Underground Round 3, Iceman versus Yam and Junior versus Okrim. We'll see if the top 4 can remain the top 4, or if we're going to see some surprises from both Yam and Okrim. That remains to be seen. In the meantime, we are going to take a very quick break. When we come back, it will be time for winners final. Top 3 will be commencing very well. The first stages of the top 3 will be commencing very shortly. Sit back, relax, get yourselves some drinks topped up if you need to. I will be right back. My wonderful friends, welcome on back to the second ever Mosh Pit. I am still your girl, Layla, aka Tamashi Kancho, and we are going to be joined by someone particularly special. We are going to be joined by the organizer of this respective event, the wonderful revolutionary individual himself. It is going to be Riffa. Not entirely sure where they've hopped off to. I did think we were already in the voice chat, but it suddenly seems like they have vanished. Oh, there he is! Hello again. Hello? Do we... Oh no. It looks like Riffa has some microphone issues, but we will have him on hand in just a moment. A very quick reminder to you all that we do have the bracket that you can follow over on challenge.com. The link should be in the chat, challenge.com/themoshpit2. And if you would like to contribute to the prize pot, exclamation prize pot in the chat, it will take you to a PayPal link where you can put in some more tasty incentives for our fighters to go over. We are gearing up for winners final now. This will be booking their ticket into the grand final. Remember, at this stage they have made it to the top 3, so it's a decent cut of the prize pool, but they're lucky for the big time honors. And reigning champion Rafa will be seeing if they can do it for a second time in a row by besting Grimwood. I guess the ultimate question then is, do we have Riffa on the microphone now?
I hope so. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I'm going to need to turn
Perfect. For some reason, I connected a different microphone because it should have been better from the sound. Oh, wait. If I move this run right now, does it get quieter?
A little bit.
Okay, then maybe it works right now, just as I expected, as I wanted it to be. All right. Yeah, so here I am. We are in winners finals right now. Rafa versus Grimwood. I want to see if Rafa will manage to keep his champion title.
It would certainly be nice. Obviously, Grimwood took 3rd place in the first ever tournament for this, so they're going to look to see if they can go, well, not just 1 better, but 2 better. See if they can wrestle that away from Rafa and force him to do a few more matches. Obviously, we've got a spicy underground bracket at the moment as well. We've got Iceman and Yam and Junior and Akram doing battle, so it's going to be hotly contested to see who is going to sneak into that top 3. But yeah, here and now we're all going to be set for our next best of 5 match, and well, it is the top 2 seeds, so I guess it does make sense to see them both up here, but who's your money going to be on, Coil or Cobra?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that Rafa pretty much only plays Cobra in tournament, and Grimwood was playing Coil for so long recently that he will definitely just pick her and see how it works. I can see Grimwood changing to Max Breast later, maybe, if Rafa manages to win a few matches, but we have to see.
Yeah, it's always amusing when you look back to when like a year or so ago, and you saw Akram and Grimwood both using brass, and any time that it would just come up, we'd just be like, all right, time for some good old muscle man magic. But now Grimwood, as of late, just seems to excel at Coil at the moment, and it's just like, every single time you see him come back in with the brass, it's like, oh yeah, he made brass like for ages. So it's just
it's weird how fast it's forgotten if you just play a different character for a while. But it's also because Grimwood is doing really well with Coil recently, just winning the last 2 EOACs in a row.
Yep. Yeah, that's been a lot of fun to see that, and we got Grifficle in the chat as well. Hello, Grifficle, welcome on in. We got obviously yours truly in the chat too. Yoshi is chilling. I know you got locked out a little earlier on, Yoshi, but it's still good to see you. So thank you very much for coming by. and obviously Iceman cheering on in the background. I mean, they've got their own matches to do against Yam, so you focus on that. You focus on that right now. But yeah, it is going to be.
I
You
I
joined it
along
just in the nick of time. I thought you were going to miss out there,
exactly.
Rafa, but you just made it
at
in.
the right, just at the right moment. I thought I actually joined a bit too late.
Up, so I'm not going to have Rafa for commentary just for the time being then. But it is going to be Rafa on the left-hand side of the screen, Grimwood on the right. Naturally, as we said, it's going to be Cobra versus Coil, Hydra and Slam for Rafa versus the Tri-Blast and the... I was going to say 2 Tri-Blast, but it's not 2 Tri-Blast. It's going to be the big old buff, big old non-elemental glove. So Cobra's not going to have a great time with the bolts. Of that there is no doubt, but so far they're relatively okay. They are actually getting some decent slaps in onto Coil, and another big time grab is going to send them straight onto the center, and it's going with a little bit of thinking to do. Rush is going to come out and just immediately catches Cobra, so Coil keeps that center ground, and you just feel like the second they start building up that wall, especially with the wall of bolts, it definitely keeps Cobra on their toes. They are on the cusp of critical, although Rafa is a couple of hits away from potentially getting Grimwood into a KO potential range, and actually does hit here. 285, it is enough to send Grimwood into critical condition. You do get caught with the slap as well. One more hit is all Rafa is looking for to potentially wrestle this away from Grimwood, but now they do join them in the critical range, and Grimwood just immediately went for the rush. I'm surprised they didn't wait a little bit longer to deploy that. But having said that, it seems to be working. Both fighters are one hit away from going down, and the bolt will find their mark. The slap does not make it in time, so no double knockouts on this occasion. Coil does take the first point. We've still got a ways to go yet.
Yeah, so I at least watched through the stream right now, and I guess Grimwood just really expected Rafa to move to some place at least, and not just shield. And with Coil's movement, he would have definitely hit the rush. But good call from Rafa to just keep his calm and just wait.
Yeah, because it's very easy to come up on a wake up, but then you suddenly see somebody just go for the grab anyway, and it's like, well, that just... So it's yeah, it's definitely well held from Rafa, and so far they're holding their own in this match as well. Just coming in consistently with these Hydras, definitely making it a lot harder for Coil, but unfortunately the explosion from the Tri-Blast is going to be enough to catch Rafa off guard, and Grimwood now coming in for more of their own rush. Weakens up the arm on the left hand side, gets caught again by the Hydra, and obviously for a character who loves to be in the air as much as Coil, the Hydra really is just, it's there to be an absolute annoyance. And Grimwood is going to get grabbed by Rafa, completely takes them down. He's going to tie up this point.
That was such a nice round from Rafa, even though it's like it looked really easy, but Rafa just got all the reads with the Hydra, because it's not really that easy to hit Coil with it actually, because it's so small and her movement is so good. But he just called Grimwood out like 3 times in a row with it. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, that kind of momentum, it really can just shift, just turn the entire complexity of the match. We are going to see Rafa finally get caught down, but again, damage has already been done initially to Grimwood, although having said that, the second a Tri-Blast or a buff just comes on through and it just catches Rafa by surprise, and suddenly the damage is right back on their side, and just, you gotta feel for Cobra. Just as much as the Hydra hinders Coil, the bolt can really just catch a character like Cobra, although having said that, just a nice little slide to the left just cancels out Grimwood rush, but they do exactly the same. They do exactly the same thing back to Rafa, neither player getting any purchase of their rush. The bolt's just about missing on this occasion for Grimwood, and they know that they're in a bit of a sticky situation here. The slaps have been incredibly consistent here, but finally the bolt started to push on through. Grimwood could get rush charged up and does get rushed, but the Hydra is completely timed to perfection from Cobra, and it's going to be Rafa who takes the initiative in this set. Oh my word, Rafa definitely just playing that very patient game there. Finally gets the little poke away from Grimwood. It was a good little smooth play, and it gives them the lead in this set by 1 point to 0. And it looks like we're going to go straight back to sparring ring. Grimwood not happy with how that result went down there. They are determined to turn it around.
Yeah, right now in this match, I just saw from Rafa what really made him win this match. I would say was just he got pretty much all the reads against Grimwood, like not just with the Hydra pokes, but also at the end where he knew Grimwood would go for the grab and probably would use the rush after that. So he just threw out the fast Hydra thing to finish it, and yeah, really good play from Rafa there. And I think Grimwood needs to mix something up here so Rafa can just get all those reads in all the time.
Let's see how that shapes out here in this match. And so far, Rafa is once again. Rafa always seems to have a much slower start when it comes to these confrontations. But having said that, Grimwood is coming in with pretty much 3 nades at the moment. The grab is definitely going to put Rafa not only in the corner but already into critical. Just been completely overwhelmed by the explosive goodness that are the nades, and they are finally starting to get into some form of purchase, but the Megawatt just is not working for them here. And more pressure now heaped onto Grimwood here, and the Megawatt actually does catch. It is a very big tool to utilize, and whilst it is slow, the damage it can do is unquestionable. But Grimwood is not going to allow that momentum to turn, does get the rush out, and does get the point.
I'm surprised that Grimwood just tries to use the chakra right now, since the double nade has worked so well. But I guess he has some thought behind that. I'm just not sure what exactly.
Well, I mean, other than trying to get around the Megawatt consistently, but again, as you said, they were so aggressive and so consistent with the nades. It feels like an odd move, but let's see how it utilizes here. And so far, Rafa is, well, they are getting some hits, but, well, I guess that's what it can be used for. If Rafa is in the air, the Chakram can still very much curl around, and, you know, 2 Chakrams are definitely a lot harder to dodge than 1. And so far, they're both kind of on level field as the Megawatt gets bounced out, but it is going to be Rafa who gets the better of the rush. Exchanges slid far enough to the right and came in with the rest of it. Again, poked out by the Chakram, and suddenly that choice isn't so bad at the moment. Yes, they are very much on level terms here, and the Megawatt just shy of hitting Coil. That would have been a great opportunity for Rafa, but the Hydras finally poke on through, and they're just going to play this a little bit patiently here. 25 seconds on the clock. Coil was incredibly aggressive there, and Rafa just about gets away with it, but they are not going to get away with the rush. And Coil makes absolutely sure Rafa does not get any further purchase on that.
Yeah, good call from Grimwood here. Just as I said, he needs to mix something up to get Rafa out of the state where he can just get all the reads in, and just using the double nade and being really aggressive, and then changing things up in the second round really worked for him there.
Absolutely did. And now going forward into match number 3, we are going to see a change of pace. We are going to now go away from sparring. It looks like we're going to head on over to Buster Beach. So things are going to be a little bit different here. A bit more, I say a bit more boxed in. It can feel smaller than sparring ring, even though sparring ring is definitely one of the more condensed matches in ARMS. Buster Beach does have like a good couple of small spots that you really don't want to be caught in.
Yeah, even though it's Rafa who counterpicks the stage right now, I'm not actually sure if it's really in his advantage to play on this stage. I can see I can see Kid Cobra and Koyo work really well on that stage, so we'll see how it will turn out.
Certainly will, and again, also the question of, will either player switch arms? I don't see Grimwood switching arms anytime soon. I mean, obviously going full nade is very much something that Grimwood does, even when they're not using coil. When they use brass, they sometimes go double nades, and it just seems to be one of the more
I think I think you need to set up the save.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I've got control of the lobby now. When did that happen? Okay, fair enough. Well, I didn't make the lobby though. Oh well, it's one of those things. I've got a little bit extra control to do, but that's absolutely fine. So we are going to head on over to Bust the Beat. Looks like both players are going to be ready to go, and yep, it is going to be Cobra versus Coil, but won't see any arm changes here. If we saw any, maybe Rafa would switch, but no, Rafa's going to stick, and to be fair, so does Coil.
Yeah, I mean, both loadouts work pretty well for both of those guys in the last 2 matches, so why should they change right now? I think. No, I was just saying. I think they just want to try to work things out with what they have right now because it just works.
That's fair enough. And to be fair, the Hydra very much is keeping Coil, I say on her toes, certainly on the ground for the most part. Grab as well going to come out from Rafa. A lot of confidence going into this matchup, and with the slam on the side as well. So far, it's Coil's having a bit of a hard time keeping up the pace. Comes in with the rush initially, and is going to slice that health lead back down, and actually gets a successful read with the Tri-Blast as well. So they suddenly turned it right back onto its head, and actually, Rafa hasn't had a chance to really deploy the rush here. They're already into critical, and, well, knowing Grimwood, just anything will likely KO at this point. The explosion from the Tri-Blast would likely do it, and so will the nade.
Yeah, but Rafa is also just one rush away, but there's the shield from Grimwood. And even the counter rush, wow, that was perfect timing there from Grimwood.
Yeah, Grimwood, I thought might have chose to keep the rush for the next match, but I guess they just wanted to make absolutely certain that Rafa did not get anything out of that. And as a result, both will have to charge up their rush from the beginning, but crucially it is Grimwood with the point advantage, and also again scoring through with the Tri-Blast. I feel like the Shotgun is a better change on Bust the Beach than in Sparring Ring, so we'll see how this is utilized. But having said that, again, it's just trying to stop Rafa using the Hydra as much as possible.
Yeah. But right now, Rafa doing some good work. He just slid under both of Grimwood's arms there for a second, and he actually plays basically the full kit Cobra right now. He's just missing the Coolerang, which is not something that you see that often, especially with Cobra.
Already that rush is going to take Grimwood all the way down into KO range, and somehow Grimwood avoids defeat not once but twice there. Slam is just going to do chip damage, but chip damage cannot KO, so it keeps Grimwood on 1 HP, 40 seconds on the clock. And Rafa is on the cusp of critical. You feel like if Grimwood gets the rush... Oh, never mind! The slam to the face!
He releases his shield just a second too early. I was about to say it might look like Rafa is in the lead there, but Coil gets her rush so fast, so it could have changed drastically in just a second, but then that happened.
Yeah. Gotta love it when that happens. And again, Grimwood not afraid to go for the rush when the arm is weak, but not only did it not find anything with that, Rafa gets the punish as well.
That was such a smart rush evade. Just getting out of the way of... That was a definite shield break in just a second, but Kid Cobra's movement is just so nice, and Rafa knows exactly what he can do with it.
Unfortunately, going to get pinned down by the Tri-Blast yet again. Grimwood just loves to go in for all of these explosive arms, and they've already gone for the next rush when Rafa hasn't even blinked on theirs yet. They're already pretty much on the cusp of critical, and Grimwood just over the halfway mark. But these 1-2 pokes from the Hydra and the Slammers keeping this very, very close. Rafa finally dips into critical, and Grimwood knows that these bolts are putting on so much pressure, but they can't get too carried away here because another rush is going to come down. 190 here, and Grimwood, they cannot afford to take another last second hit like they did last time round, and that's why they're just playing this a little bit more cautiously here, letting Rafa get themselves into a position where maybe they can't slide out as much as they would like to. And Grimwood, with 15 seconds on the clock, does have rush to go. And that is just a good use of the invisibility. Rafa wasn't sure which way Grimwood had gone to. Grab is successful. The rush doesn't quite land, but with 2 seconds on the clock, the grab, the last-ditch grab from Rafa again doesn't connect because again it's just the wrong side of Coil.
Yeah, there was nothing Rafa could do, unfortunately, even though he tried his best. But if he could have managed to get the hit in during the rush, then maybe, but nah. and I get, oh yeah, they're going straight back to Buster.
Yep, going straight back to Buster, so no need to change the stages. So we've had 2 matches on Spawn Ring, 2 matches on Buster. The previous time it went 1 apiece. Is it going to go 1 apiece again, or are we going to see Grimwood take a 3-1 victory here and book their tickets into Grand Finals and knock the reigning champion into the underground bracket? And Grimwood is actually going to switch out here. We're going to see the Fun Chuck coming out here alongside the Nade. Meanwhile, Rafa not going to switch from the Hydra and the Slams. To be fair, it has been working, but now they've got a couple extra things to worry about because, you know, the Fun Chuck does have the 2 ways of attacking. Now there's going to be potentially 2 of them depending on which side it gives the random charge to. So, and so far, every single time you see a charged hit just hit Cobra, just completely takes them out of it. It just, you go from being a very zoomy character to just, nope, dead stop. And so far, it is, again, I say it's an even fight, but it is Grimwood with the initial advantage. And, oh, that is unfortunate from Rafa. They try to go for the counter rush.
Oh, sorry, I didn't want to talk over you. But yeah, Rafa just burning his rush there, which was unfortunate and pretty much gave Grimwood the round.
It absolutely did. And it's like they thought they'd slid just enough to decide to utilize it, but not to be on this occasion. Grim just flat out outboxing the lot of it. We're gonna see both of the chucks out on display here. Rafa's coming in with the bird chuck, which will try to be used to just rob Coil of her abilities, especially to be in the air for as long as she is. And obviously the Hydra sticking it because, well, you kind of need it against Coil. It's going to be Grimwood who blinks first yet again. And Rafa has the wherewithal to just start dodging to the left when they see that warning on the left-hand side of their arm, because they cannot afford to let a shield break go down. It just gives Grimwood that extra ammunition.
Yeah, and those rush evades from Rafa are crucial for this fight, I think, since Koi gets her rush so fast. Like, she nearly has another one ready, so Rafa really needs to get away from those, otherwise he will just take like 600 damage just from rushes in one single round.
Absolutely, and we're going to see Rafa tie this up again, 1 apiece. And initially tried to go for that grab, but again, Grimwood had already boosted off onto the right-hand side and just came in with another punch and a grab to boot. And again, as you say, already has rush to go, and Rafa not quite there yet. And also, if Grimwood decides to want to just come up and commit, they can absolutely do so. But you know full well that that Hydra is still proven to be a bit difficult to play around. Again, another successful Fun Chuck read in mid-air, but Rafa's coming out with the bird chuck of their own. It's almost like they're cancelling each other at this point. Yeah,
right, and Grimwood gets the explosion there to get away from the rush, and immediately goes for the counter rush there.
Yeah, that's going to put a lot of pressure up on Rafa now. They're into critical, whilst Grimwood has a massive health lead. All Grimwood is looking for is one more punch to knock the reigning champion into the underground final. Grimwood is going to win the set by 3 points to 1. And well, they finished 3rd last time round. They're already guaranteed to do better than that. Into the grand final goes Grimwood and Coil.
Yeah, really well played from Grimwood. Even though after the first match it seemed like Rafa had the upper hand, but Grimwood just managed to adapt pretty well to all of this and just changing a few things up and made everything work after that.
Absolutely, and
so
so with that we are gonna see the grand final start to be set. Grimwood is in there and they will await whoever wins in the underground final. Rafa is in underground final. Who will they take on? It will be between Iceman and Junior. Iceman taking out Jan by 3 points to 1. Junior taking out Okum 3 points to 0. So the top 4 seeds are in the top 4. There's nothing else to say there. Normally you get tournaments where it's exactly as planned or it's the absolute opposite of what's planned, and they are far and few between, but for today's time of asking, the seeds have been spot on. Although having said that, we had a little bit of a dicey moment in underground round 2, but that's okay. We are now going to go to the underground semi-final.
Yeah, and they already started. They already played their first match. It's 1-0 for Junior right now.
I guess never mind then. I guess we wait till underground final.
No. You can join my lobby. I'm with them right now.
Okie dokie.
They just continue playing right now, but they already had their first match.
Okay, so yeah, we will join in and we will have a look at the rest of the underground semi-final when we get footage back. I assume they're in the middle of match 2 now, or have they not started? No, they haven't started yet. Okay.
Yeah. I told them to wait for a moment.
Aww, thank you.
Yeah, Rafa. I have this. Last time I just used my microphone on my notebook, but for this time I thought, why not? I have this microphone for vocal recording, so why not plug it in and, just keep it a bit nicer on the sound quality. But yeah, with that being said, we're on DNA Lab now on the second match from those guys already. Iceman just getting his Dragon Arm up right away.
They absolutely are, and Junior's going to come straight back up, and then they need to find a way to just slice this little advantage here that Iceman now has on their side. The chakram is always such a hindrance, especially when it's on the Dragon Arm. It's just that little bit more scary to play around and just go straight through the grab attempt of Junior as well.
It's just a great tool against Kid Cobra because it's, I wouldn't say easy, but it's so good for catching all of the movement and jumps from Kid Cobra with this huge chakram. But yeah, that's crucial. Junior really needs to get rid of the Dragon Arm from Iceman here, but he actually just lets him charge it up again, which, I don't know, I'm surprised. Maybe he expected Iceman to do something instead of just charging up, but...
Yeah, almost, especially as a character like Cobra, you would think that trying to go in for those aggressive plays would definitely keep Iceman on their toes, let alone building the arm back up. But they're somehow getting back into this match now. Iceman does come out with the rush, but Junior's gonna stop it in midair, slides on in, and comes in with a rush of their own. The confidence to do that, and with 5 seconds left on the clock, they have the lead here. The dragon isn't gonna hit. Iceman needs a grab. They're not gonna find it, and a 1 second hit is gonna take the KO as well. Beautifully turned around there from Junior.
What a comeback from Junior, just getting the Hydra over the rush from Iceman, rushing Iceman immediately, and then just finishing it up in the last second of the match.
Absolutely, and with that... Oh, go on.
Now Iceman has a problem because pretty much, I think, if not even all the pillars are gone already, so he can't just hide somewhere and charge his Dragon Arm up. So Junior can just get all the pressure in here and not let Iceman charge up, and then it doesn't look as good for Iceman anymore. But now he gets the charge up, of course, after the rush, but Junior can just counter rush in a second. Yeah, just what I expected.
Yep, straight back into the corner goes Iceman, so level playing field once again, but those 1-2 hits, if Iceman can keep them coming, will definitely keep Junior at bay, but the Hydra not gonna happen either. The dragon catches out, and the grab from Min Min is gonna be enough to get that straight back onto a level playing field, and really well done there from Iceman, very smooth.
Yeah, Junior was just a bit too aggressive with the jump and the double punch there for a moment, and then Iceman just punished it perfectly after that. Just got the grab, and yeah, Junior really needs to stay a bit patient there. He can't overcommit to those double punches out of the air, otherwise he will just get grabbed for free, and then Iceman has his dragon arm up, and that shouldn't happen for Junior here, and right now it doesn't look good for him.
It certainly doesn't. They do get a grab back in, and obviously with the Guardian equipped as well, it gets that little bit tiny extra damage. But again, these stuns from the Chakram are just, they're completely killing that momentum dead in its tracks. The last of the tubes finally goes down, but not that Iceband really needed it at this point. They have the health lead, but they've got to be careful. Another grab or two like that, and it's going to put Junior right back into contention here. And they do have the rush still to go. Ice Dragon does come back through. Iceband using that as an opportunity to get the Chakram charged back up. Grab is, well, no, not the grab. It was going to be the Chakram that was going to come through for the hit, but Junior is going to get the cancel on it and a rush to boot. It puts Iceman into critical. Junior has turned this around, but they've got to finish this now because Iceman has rush ready to go, and there it is. And you know that Iceman will use that to turn the tide with 20 seconds left to go, and there's the grab to do it. 10 seconds left on the clock. Guardian just about comes out in time, but the shield is up in the nick of time. Now, crucially here, Iceman, I think, has the lead. Junior needs to get a hit in, and they need to get it in now, and they're not going to do so. Iceman will take it. Oh, how close do you want that to be?
Yeah, that was so close. So it's 1-1 for both of these guys right now. Let's see which stage Junior will pick. Iceman, of course, just banning Vire and Buster, just the tiniest stages possible, because you definitely don't want to have this giant Guardian just cornering you all the time.
Absolutely not. But can we just talk about that that play right there and then? Like, the second that came out, you just saw Iceman immediately just double on back. It's like, no. Do not want to force the initiative. You never want to be that close to somebody with 3 seconds left on the clock. And we've seen it plenty of times beforehand, but it's like, especially as a Cobra, when you know, even when you've got that much distance, especially on a stage like DNA Lab, Cobra will just cut that in half in seconds. So it's just like, you just see Cobra just coming sliding up to you. It's very intimidating, but Iceman had to really hold their own there, and, you know, as long as the grab doesn't hit, you're fine.
Yeah, right. But now we see the ribbon from Iceman, and both have a nade equipped.
I like how we went from fighters having different types of chucks coming into both with the nade now. And to be fair, the nade has been a popular arm as of late, so I guess it's only fair to see both of them utilizing it, and for very different reasons. Obviously, Ribbon, I say Ribbon, they're both very agile characters. Just one's a bit more grounded than the other. And Iceman going to get caught out by the double hit of the bird chuck as well, but gets a nice little hot slap in to boot. And forcing the explosion as well. Both players do have that extra thing to worry about to cause the self-destruct, and the last thing you need is the nade itself setting off their self-destruct, because that's basically 2 explosions coming at you. Not that it really does any additional damage, but it does look a little bit more stylish. Not so much on that one though. Ribbon is going to drop, and, well, at least makes up for it by avoiding the rest of Junior's rush, so no harm done completely then.
Well, unfortunately, Iceman self-explosion gets the self-explosion there. Otherwise, the mana would have hit. But it still looks pretty nice for him right now. He basically just needs 1 charged hit, I believe. Yeah, now even 1 uncharged hit will do it. And he gets the grab, and that's the round.
It's always nice when it's like, oh, you just need to hit, you just need to get 1 more punch. I'm gonna grab them instead, yeah. Why not?
And I feel like whenever I say someone only needs that, then it will just happen. It's just a commentator's curse.
Again, wouldn't be a tournament of any kind without commentator's curse coming up once. Iceman's arm on the left immediately going to be weakened up, and Junior's going to use that as momentum. Comes in with the rush and just juggles Iceman for 295 for what will be Ribbon's response? Well, not going to be anything at the moment because the Hydra just runs clean through her yet again. And it must be said, between the two in this match, Junior has been significantly more consistent. And another Hydra poke is going to put Iceman just one punch away from going down. And once again, it's the Hydra. Just like with Coil, the Hydra is so effective against Ribbon Girl. It just cuts that aerial combat completely out of the water.
Exactly, and even with the girth from Kid Cobra combined, it's just when Ribbon just starts jumping, it's hard to get away from the Hydra as Ribbon Girl because you basically can't go anywhere. It will just hit. And there's the rush, but actually, oh, yeah, Iceman gets the trade in the end. Nice call there from him.
It was just like, I like the fact they both negated each other in the air, and then they temporarily negated each other on the ground as well before Iceman finally got the better of it. It was a wild experience there with that rush, but it is going to go, I say in Iceman's favor, it really doesn't seem to be in Iceman's favor because Junior is able to get another hit in, and it always seems to be with the Hydra.
Yeah. Basically, now he actually gets one hit with the Chuck as well, but I feel like the Chuck is mostly there to just to wall out the arms from Iceman and then just get a lot of pokes with the Hydra. But Iceman is so good with just avoiding those rushes. I think this round Junior missed both of his rushes right now so far, so even though Junior is in the health lead right now, it doesn't look too bad for Iceman actually, because he gets the tribal sit in and he nearly has his rush. He just needs to be careful to not get hit, and then if he manages to land his rush, or just the nade. Okay, Iceman, just get the raw hit in and finish it up.
Leaving it as late as possible. And the nade is going to get the finishing touch, and Iceman will take back that lead. 2-1 is going to be in this set now. And, well, anything could still happen here. It's certainly not out of contention for Junior, but that will hurt. That will hurt just a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm curious if we see some changes from Junior right now. I think he definitely should keep the Hydra on. I think that's a no-brainer. But let's see if he changes something else.
Let's see what the answer's going to be. We're going to see... Yeah, the Hydra's still there, Guardian and the Shakram. So I think we lost the Chuck then, and yep, it's going to have Ram and Guardian to go against the nade and the hottest of the slacks.
So just the classic Junior set, no Hydra there.
I like how the second you were like, oh, they'll keep the Hydra, that's a no-brainer. Boom, no Hydra.
Yeah. But Junior playing this loadout for so long already, so he knows exactly what he wants to do with it. And even though the Hydra is perfect for catching Ribbon Girl, to just have the Guardian out and then call out the movement from Ribbon Girl she's forced to do with the Ram should also work pretty well.
So far, Iceman is keeping it shut down for the time being. Again, you just see the Guardian, that's exactly what it's designed to do. Just sort of like intimidate you. The second you think you're away from it, boom, it just zooms in and just picks you out of the air. Although Iceman does have that little bit more consistency at the moment. Another successful nade hit and another successful slap. Just one poke away from taking the initiative again, and Junior is actually going to commit to the rush here. Puts Iceman into critical, but Iceman still does have the time on their side. With 25 seconds to go, they still just need the one poke, whereas Junior does need a little bit more than that. Although having said that, a shot from the Guardian will do it. Counter a stoppage on the rush will do it as well, and now both will pretty much be a punch away from going down. The Guardian is going to wall out two of them. The slap, I think it was the AoE of the nade that just about got through. The Guardian pushes it.
The rush from Junior in this disadvantage was so bold, but it paid off so well. But yeah, he also got a bit lucky as he was just pushed away a bit from the nade explosion. So the mana didn't hit, which would have killed him. And then he just managed to get the last hit in there.
Yeah, I was going to be surprised because I honestly thought the slap had done its job and then the nade inadvertently wrestled it away from it.
Yeah,
Iceman,
exactly.
Yeah, and Iceman's gonna come straight back in with Revenge. Is not happy with how that went at all. Look at the fire in Ribbon Girl's eyes already. Junior on the cusp of critical. And Iceman may try and keep their rush all the way up until the next point if they need to, but the last thing they need is for Junior to start getting the momentum back. All it will take is another Guardian sneaking around to just turn that away, but surely you would think this is Iceman's point here.
Oh, Junior rushes again, even though he's already in critical, and Iceman just is a bit under half of his health, and he has the rush. So maybe he just, right now Junior might have overcommitted a bit too much.
Somehow they have not taken another hit yet. Never mind, there it is. Yeah. Once again, commentators rush, commentators curse, coming in full swing. And it means that Iceman does have the advantage to try and take this set away and book their ticket into the top 3.
Yeah, this is match point for Iceman. Junior needs to take this round.
I'm going to see the Hydra coming back out with the Guardian, and the Hydra does finally get a little bit of a nibble on. Crucially then, Junior has got their rush back up before Iceman has decided to use theirs. So it's basically a level playing field once again as another grab from Junior just slices away at Iceman's health. Just see how much distance Ribbon just gives that Guardian. It's just like they don't want to be anywhere near it. They want to get Junior off the ground as soon as possible to just deny the Guardian any time of action. And so far they're keeping Junior at bay now. Every single nade hit seems to be finding its mark, whether it's directly or indirectly. And both went for the rush exchange, but it's Junior who wins it out just about. Crucially, Iceman didn't take as much damage as Junior would have liked, but well, we'll see how Junior turns this around. They were only one hit away from going down here. The grab will do it! The grab will take it.
Just a grab.
Yeah, just a grab. But to be fair, the punch, an uncharged punch, might not have got the KO, but that certainly will do the trick. And Iceman will win 3-1. We've had a good number of 3-1s here on our best of 5 so far. But yeah, it is going to be Iceman booking their ticket into the top 3. And Junior will not be in the top 3 on this occasion.
Yeah, it looked pretty good for him after this weird rush exchange. It definitely looked weird on my end, at least. But then Iceman, I think he just got like 3 nades in a row, like just catching the landing from Junior time and time again, and then just ending it with just a grab, because why not?
Because why not indeed. And it does mean that we are going to have the same top 3 participants in the mosh pit again. Because the previous top 3 was Grimwood, Iceman, Rafa. With Rafa being the winner.
Right, exactly.
So this is going to be an interesting position we find ourselves in as we prepare for the underground final between reigning champion Rafa and Iceman. And we're going to book our ticket straight to Mausoleum. I don't think anybody is surprised to see that. And it's going to be Ribbon versus Cobra to start ourselves off here. And away we go. Nade and the hottest of slaps for Iceman. Rafa meanwhile coming in with the Popper and the Burchuck. Oh, it's interesting to see Rafa coming in with that combination. I mean, we obviously have seen them utilize the Popper on so many occasions. But to be fair, the Burchuck definitely going to help at least stall, well, let alone stall out Ribbon Girl's ability by just completely removing all of that ability, and just look how aggressive Rafa is playing here, and just about gets away with the rush as well. Beautiful sliding.
Yeah, and right now Rafa just looks really in control. He just knows what he needs to do to get the hits against Iceman in. And it actually, it would surprise me if, I mean, I'm not rooting for anyone here, but it would surprise me if Iceman wins, because last time in the Mosh Pit, both of these guys were in grand finals, and I must say, Rafa pretty much just destroyed Iceman in those. So, and right now it just looks really good for Rafa again, just getting the late rush confirm out of the popper still.
And obviously with the trampoline out, I mean, neither player really doesn't mind it too much, but Rafa just seems to just enjoy just going straight onto it. They're not caring the slightest. And Iceman is already on the cusp of critical. Make that into critical thanks to the Burchuck, and Rafa almost has rush ready to go again, but they may not even need to use it. Iceman just hasn't been able to get any kind of offense in here, and one more hit, well, Rafa's got the rush anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
But yeah, Rafa lost the trampoline, he always did, and he just shows why it's just so good for Kid Cobra, and just, I don't know, Rafa lost the trampoline, so I expect for Iceman to definitely not pick Mausoleum again.
And in fact, we are going to see Ninja College coming back in as a counter pick. I honestly didn't think I would see it at all. The fact that we got it once earlier was a nice surprise. The fact that we're getting it a second time, what's Iceman's tactic gonna be here?
I think it's definitely a good call from Iceman, since you saw how aggressive Rafa wanted or did play against Iceman in the last match. So just picking a large stage and getting a bit more room to breathe is definitely not a bad choice for him.
We're going to see the Lola coming out from Iceman as well, so going to see if they can utilize the high ground effect as well, just to sort of like balance out the fact that Cobra is a bit more of a grounded character, although it will be Rafa who starts with the high ground. Popper and Megawatt for Rafa this time around, and Iceman's going to bring in a Popper of their own, except this time we're going to see the Scorpio coming out. So just like the Chucks, it will have two modes of attacking. The Scorpion will scuttle along on the ground, but it will be a nice frisbee in the air. But Iceman's not going to get the chance to do that with another Megawatt shock. Again, it's kind of unfortunate here that Iceman's just getting completely walled out, and another Megawatt hit! It may be one of the slower arms in the game, but it will just punch clean through that Popper, and if the Scorpio doesn't hit, it's going to be a free shock and a grab for Rafa, of that there is no doubt. And Iceman is essentially a hit away, does get a hit with the Popper, but again the Megawatt goes through uncontested, and Rafa just turns that around so quickly.
Yeah, Frozen Frag, normally it's Ninja College is not a legal stage, but for this tournament I decided to use it instead of Scrapyard, because I think the stage list needs one more large stage, and Scrapyard is kind of meh. I don't like Scrap, so there it is, we have Ninja College instead.
As a mechanic in main, I am disappointed.
I mean,
I jest though. I do also like to see more stages get some screen time in competitive play, so it's a very nice decision to see. And we are going to see Iceman finally start to fight back out of this, and unfortunately, what in the world happened with that rush?
Yeah, it looked kind of weird with the, like, how it went down the stairs there. But yeah, Iceman is actually in the lead, I think, for the first time in the whole set right now.
And again, they keep... I hate the fact that for Iceman, they keep going in with these punches, but it's just the Megawatt just consistently goes, "Hello, my friend, allow me to introduce myself again." But Iceman is going to get the rush to come out, and does get the KO finally to tie up this point.
Yeah, and he also, you could see how he took just a single really short moment to adjust the camera there, because Kid Cobra was nearly, like, was about to fall out of the rush, but Iceman realizing that and just adjusting the camera real quick and then getting the KO with it.
Now Rafa's going to put the pressure right back onto Iceman, and every single time you see Rafa start on the high ground, you just feel like Rafa's just going to try and run away for this. Already has Iceman on the cusp of critical. They want a perfect, but they're not going to get it because the Papa is going to sneak on around, and Iceman will deny them that privilege. But so far, it's a long way back for Iceman now. One more punch is all Rafa needs. The Popper, he's going to blow them back away up the stairs and, well, make that another grab. Rafa getting a little bit too complacent here. They cannot afford to allow Iceman to come back into this. And they do have Rush to go as well. But the Mega One once again is going to punch on through uncontested. And Rafa will lead the set by 2 points to 0.
Rafa is just too good with the Mega Watt. He just knows where people want to go and just curves it the little bit of extra amount to catch them, which is really nice.
Also,
love to see it.
You do love to see it, and also nice to note that Rafa just immediately was just like, let's not do college again, just straight up bans that, gives Iceman just that little, and to be fair, you feel like Iceman will play to that. It's like, you're like, oh, I don't mind the fact that we're playing on college, and then suddenly you go up against Lola, and it's like, yeah, let's not do college again, please. I do not want you doing that again, because they had the lead, and then they saw their health just spiral out of control. It's just like, Iceman just, like, even though they lost that point, they still looked very impressive doing what they did with Lollipop on that stage.
Yeah, I mean, it was really the first few times that Iceman really had the lead in this set, so the stage definitely was a good call from him, and of course it was also a good call from Rafa then to ban it after it. So we see how DNA Lab will work out for Iceman here.
Iceman's going to come in with the Seiki as well to go alongside that Popper. Meanwhile, Rafa comes in with the Coolerang and the Hydra. I know you made mention to the Coolerang earlier on in the tournament, but we're going to see it here now. And Seiki has that little bit of extra risk and reward now. We didn't really get to properly talk about it when we saw Yoshi using it at the first round of the tournament. But the Seiki, well, if you thought the nade explosions were bad enough, well, the Seiki does even bigger than that, but the self-destruct is very higher risk because it's that wonderful shock that you never want to suffer, as Rafa is going to get another grab to send Iceman through that tube, but they're still not in this.
Yeah, and Iceman just switching throughout his whole roster of characters here. I think he started with Ribbon Girl, right? Then he was Lola Pop, and now he's Min Min.
Oh, and that is unfortunate. Although, having said that, how in the world did Iceman not take damage there? I am absolutely impressed.
Yeah, he dashed a bit forward to avoid the Coolerang, and he punched the Hydra down with the Seiki, since Hydra just gets to a medium class weight when rushing, and it's just a single hit basically. You can just punch it down with another medium arm. So good call there from Iceman, really, really well played. And it looks great for him right now, and he gets the last hit in with the giant dragon arm Popper there.
What a turnaround that was from Iceman, absolutely impressive. And Rafa's response, we're gonna bring in the slam for that alongside the Coolerang.
Rafa actually plays full default Kid Cobra right now, I realize.
That's why I was making mention to it. It's like we're going to see exactly that. And the self-destruct shock. I mentioned it just a moment ago, and that's exactly what happened. Iceman caught out by their own missile, and a grab to boot. Make that 2 grabs for Rafa. Rafa now just deciding to operate on a completely different level. Try to go for the third. Baits out the response. Comes in with the rush. 365. And just like that, Rafa... Oh my god, Rafa, that was just brutal.
He just doesn't get... Iceman doesn't have a second to breathe there. He just gets followed by Kid Cobra's movement all the time and gets grabbed, I think, 3 times there. Maybe even 4, I don't know, but a lot of times.
I feel like it was definitely 4 towards the end there, and that just goes to show you, yes, you can play double curved arms and it will still absolutely work out for you. Rush is going to come out from Iceman, and this is going to be massive damage. Only gets the 1 missile, but 330 just immediately cuts that health down, and suddenly Iceman puts himself right back into a good position here. That Toaster being a very good tool to utilize here against Cobra, but we're gonna lose the arm on the left hand side, and Rafa this time round does successfully punish it.
Oh, yeah, he gets the rush confirm there. He just got the rush ready in the moment he hit the Manda for it, and with that he just takes the win.
Yeah, and despite all of that, I feel like that moment from Iceman there just completely I feel like that aggravated Rafa at that point. Rafa was just like, okay, you are not doing that again. we are not going to sit here and watch this through. It is going to be a straight 3-0 for Rafa in the end. The reigning champion does make it back into the grand finals, and Iceman on this occasion is going to finish one spot down from their previous attempt. Second place in the first mosh pit, third place in the second, but that's still nothing to sniff at, bearing in mind that they do still get 10% of the prize pot, so it's still very impressive.
Yeah, and really well played from Iceman throughout the tournament, definitely, and also in the last match there. It was always, I mean, Iceman did really well when he had the momentum and when he got his Dragon Arm and when he could get the wake-up calls on Rafa. But Rafa was just too good to neglect that and just follow Iceman through the whole stage and just pressuring him all the time.
And with that being said, we're now going to gear up for the grand finale. It is going to be a rematch of the winners final. Grimwood did beat Rafa there by 3 points to 1. So we're going to see if Grimwood can do the same again in the grand final, or if Rafa is going to turn this on its head and take us into a bracket reset. Do remember that that's exactly how this is going to work. Remember, this is still a double elimination tournament. So if Grimwood does lose, that will be their first set loss. And it does mean that we will then jump straight back in to another best of 5 set. What do you reckon going into this? What do you all reckon? Do you reckon Grimwood is gonna become the second different winner of the mosh pit, or do you think Rafa is gonna have enough in the tank to retain?
Yeah, it's really hard to tell. Like, Grimwood plays, undoubtedly he plays super well right now, but Rafa definitely has it in it to get the reset and then just it's really hard to tell. We will see how it turns out.
It really does. I mean, if you take it, I mean, it always depends on like the kind of mood each player comes out with. I mean, we saw in the previous set where Rafa would have like a bit of a bad point and then just suddenly go 180, full on aggression, and just doesn't give your opponent a chance to breathe, where we know Grimwood can do that with both sides of Coil. Like, we've seen Coil be very patient and laid back, and then we've seen the Coil just suddenly just push on forward with 3 nades in your face. So I feel like if anyone's going to be able to find a way of stopping Grimwood, it would probably be Rafa's Cobra, but at the same time, even when Grimwood seems to be on the back foot, they seem to always find a way of being able to just patiently play out and strategize that little bit more. I guess also gets a bit of a look with the fact that Coil does just slide out quite a lot of altercations, so we'll see.
Yeah, and with that said, we're still waiting on Rafa actually. I thought we were ready to go.
Yeah, it's because you saw the orange screen immediately blast up, but yeah, not just yet. I know Rafa is currently on a bit of a break. Whilst they are on the break, I will quickly remind you all that there is still a prize pot that you can chip into if you so wish. You type in exclamation prize pool, you can see where the pool is currently sitting at, and obviously you can do yourself a favor of chipping on it, and if you can do so. And obviously, if you want to have a look at how the rest of the bracket was, I think Rafa, thank you very much, you just typed in the exclamation bracket, you knew where I was going with that. So you can see the state of the tournament. Obviously, we're into the grand final now, so it's more to look back at previous results. In terms of the path to get here, Grimwood beat let's have a look. Grimwood had a bye for the first round because they were placed in the top 4. They beat Okrim 2-0, Iceman 3-0, Rafa 3-1, and that's how they made it to grand finals. For Rafa, on the other hand, Rafa also got a bye, won 2-0 against Yam in round 2, won 3-1 against Junior, then lost 3-1 against Grimwood, and then beat Iceman 3-0 in on the grand final. So, like I said, all of the best of 5 so far have been either 3-0 affairs or 3-1s. And Rafa has been involved in 2 of those. so, I don't know. If Grimwood, I guess in the grand scheme of things, Grimwood has only conceded 1 match so far in this tournament. So it really does seem to be stacked against Rafa at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Grimwood just shows the work that he put into Coil right now. It definitely pays off. He's pretty dominating right now. But I guess if anyone can beat this, it's Rafa right now.
Absolutely. And whilst we are waiting for Rafa to come in, I will just quickly ask the question. I mean, those in chat, you can discuss it as well if you so wish, but I know it is a hotly discussed thing. But with the fact that we saw Ninja College being added in and, you know, substituting out for Scrapyard, do you reckon in more tournaments to come we might see some more tweaks and changes to the stages, or do you think that we're just all like destined to have these stages all the time?
I think right now the stage list is so set in like for years in ARMS already, so I don't think we actually see much of a change. We saw some people aiming for something else, like Era, for example, with her, was it, I think, Tempo Tantrum that had some other stages mixed in, or no, it was Champion of the Era that had different stages in it, like Sky Arena, for example, was in it.
Yes. sorry, I'm a fan of Sky Arena. I do apologize.
Yeah, no, I get that. I also like the stage. And it's kind of difficult because I know where people are coming from when they want to have the stages set that are set right now, because those are the more, the most competitive, viable ones, I guess. But I always like to see a bit of a change up, but it's hard with the other stages that are not in the stage list right now, because some are really just straight up unfair. So yeah, I don't think we will see much of a change, just maybe some slight changes every now and then by someone.
It'll be nice to see it. And whilst we get to the end of that, we probably may discuss that a little bit later, the grand final has officially started for the second mosh pit, and Grimwood is not going to get any of that rush. Rafa is going to just bolt that down and not give Grimwood a chance to get back into this. The tri-bolt and lockjaw combination is so far not proven as effective as Grimwood would have probably liked here. Rafa's keeping this level.
Also, at this point, shout out to Grimwood, because I said earlier, I don't know if it was in Twitch chat or in the Discord, that I want to see someone playing Lockjaw or even double Lockjaw because of the logo of the mosh pit. So there it is. We see a Lockjaw on Koyo right now. So thanks, Grimwood. I'm pretty sure he did it because of that, because you usually never see Grimwood with a Lockjaw.
I have seen him utilize it before. If it's not been him, it's been a different coil, but I've definitely seen the lockjaw come out on the coil before. And Grimwood's going to stick with it. Managed to get the first point there in the end. And whilst Rafa does start with rush immediately and is going to activate it on the cusp of that slam. Nice little juggle attempt. Gives them the lead early on, and the Hydra's going to run clean through coil as a result. Very good start here.
Yeah, unfortunately he only managed to get the mana hit and then the rush confirm, but only the Hydra. So it was 240, I think, but it could have been 300 something instead. But it didn't. He's kind of. Is it a perfect?
No, chip damage. There was chip damage from the shield right at the end there. So it's a pixel perfect, but Oh, Rafa will be like, did you have to hit my shield? I could have had that. I would have had a gold star against you, but no, not to be. And Grimwood is going to drop the lockjaw immediately, going back out with the tripod and the roaster.
Yeah, Grimwood really didn't like that, and he said, screw the lockjaw. I need something fast here.
Absolutely, they need something fast to keep on top of the speed of Rafa, and the slam is going to get cancelled out. Somehow Rafa managed to get away with not taking any damage from the second half of that rush and comes in with a grab of their own, turns it back the way. And that's actually Grimwood who comes off worse here and is going to get caught again. Nice little play from Rafa.
Yeah, that was a smart confirm, just knowing that the Hydra will either in time just from the hit stun because it's so fast. And now Rafa probably will take, just when I say it, he will take the first match there in this best of 5.
Yeah, Grimwood got the initial point. Ironically enough, they got it with the lockjaw, and then Rafa just comes right on back, and that will be lead right there and then. 1-0 in the grand final, obviously where it matters the most. And well, if they want to retain their title, this is the way they want to go. But you get the feeling that now that we've seen the lockjaw, A, we're probably not going to see it again, and B, you just get the feeling that Grimwood is now going to take this very seriously.
Yeah, probably. I don't think Grimwood wants to let the reset happen, because he was also sitting and waiting on the winner's side of the grand finals for a while now. And Rafa just has all this momentum from the 3-0 against Iceman already. So he can't really allow Rafa to keep that going. He needs to stop that. Otherwise, after a reset, it could be pretty, could look pretty bad for Grimwood.
Absolutely, and do remember that in the first mosh pit we didn't see the bracket reset. Ironically enough, Rafa won against Iceman in a straight 3-0, so Rafa just wants to do that again, but Grimwood is not going to take that sitting down. And we are going to see the nade coming in with that tri-blast as well, and that's exactly what Cole is going to start off with. And Rafa goes to the tried and trusted Popper Megawatt combination as we head into sparring range.
Yeah, we see how effective the Megawatt will be against Coil, but a huge Popper never is a bad idea against Coil.
You just look at A, how quick it goes, and B, how consistent it's been on Grimwood already. Like, already on the cusp of going under halfway, and the rush is going to come out and just slow Rafa down to a halt, and just turn this quickly back around. Although, having said that, Rafa's not too far away from the rush of their own. And you feel like, again, they've been very consistent with their little 1-2 pokes. Like, even the Megawatt is managing to get through. With the grab, nicely timed there from Grimwood, just as Rafa was about to hit the floor. Rush will now come out, but Grimwood is already ready to avoid it.
Yeah, Rafa a bit too eager with the rush there. It's pretty tricky to hit a Coil just with a raw rush. And he tried to read the movement from Grimwood, but he just got the side wrong. I think he should probably better wait for his rush confirms with the Popper instead. Because otherwise this will happen. He will just whiff his rush and Grimwood will just take the round.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was one of those moments where Grimwood was probably going to try and keep hold of that rush, and then Rafa was just a punch away from the KO, and Grimwood just went, no, we're not having this again. Just rush just takes that point, quickly back away from them. We're going to see the Bircher coming out instead of the Megawatt. Hopefully that gives Rafa a little bit more flexibility and goes in with the grab, and it's always cool to do that. That little bit of intimidation, it keeps your opponent guessing. When you have the rush and you go in that quickly, it's like, are you going to grab or are you going to rush? And right now, that has turned out perfectly for Rafa.
Yeah, exactly. And just when I said it around earlier, Rafa gets the raw rush this time, actually. He just read the movement from... perfect! Actually a perfect there from Rafa.
No shield damage this time round. It is going to be a perfect. We had a perfect in the first round, I think we did. And now we got a perfect in the grand final of all places. And it's Rafa on a roll right now as they make that 3 successful hits in a row. Finally, the Megawatt does move out of the way. It's interesting that Rafa's gone back to the Megawatt after all of that. obviously, look at this. They're just shimmy around all over the place, and Grimwood's got no answer for this. Grimwood has no answer to this at all. Is this another perfect?
This should be another perfect, but...
My goodness me. Do not scratch your eyes. I have not seen a double perfect in ages.
But let's see what Grimwood says, because he just stopped playing, which is weird. But, oh no, he actually just picks the stage again. So I guess there wasn't a problem. So yeah, Rafa just manages to get a double perfect against Grimwood. And Grimwood changes off from the coil. Oh my god.
It's all happening thick and fast here. Grimwood drops to flipping brass. I did say we'd see it, and double chiller as well.
Yeah, but that's just what I said. It's Rafa has all this momentum coming from the losers finals with a 3-0, and if Grimwood can't stop this momentum from Rafa, it will look pretty bad for him. And we just saw this with a double perfect. So now Grimwood feels the need to change something up, change to a different character. And if Rafa just gets the reset with 3-0, which looks like it right now, if Grimwood can't do anything here, yeah, it will get really tricky for Grimwood.
It certainly will. They finally do get a chill into a grab combination, and they get another chill as well. Grimwood's on the cusp of going into critical, and with brass that means perma buffs all of the time, and there they are. But the rush is going to come out from both of them, but unfortunately it's Rafa who gets the better of that. The Watt just completely punched through the lot of them. And Grimwood, well, Grimwood's a point away from staring the barrel down. A bracket reset. And that's not going to be great for him if that's going to be the case. And the Megawatt gets the shock, and the Popper quickly comes in for the 1-2 punch. And the Watt again catches brass in the air. The Chakram and the Nade are just not able to come out here. And Rafa's on the cusp of doing another perfect. Finally does get punched through. But goodness me, the tide has completely turned here.
Yeah, you can see Grimwood just gets pretty impatient here right now. He tries to jump in there and just gets called out by the Megawatt 2 times in a row. And just like that, we have a bracket reset already. That was really fast.
Oh my goodness. Well, for the first time in the Mosh Pit's history, I mean, obviously I know this is only the second time, but still, we do have the bracket reset coming at you immediately. Well, Rafa has just done a clean 3-0 against Grimwood. Grimwood is probably going to be in a bit of a mess at this point, it must be said.
Yeah.
Because 2 coils didn't work and neither did the brass, and just... what do you do now?
And I mean, he didn't just get a 3-0 reset, he also got a double perfect during that. So yeah, all the momentum is on Rafa's side right now, and Grimwood needs to do something. I think this match right now is so important. If Rafa wins this one, I think maybe it's already over. But if Grimwood gets this one, he gets some momentum back, and yeah, then we'll see how it happens.
We certainly will, and I don't think I have a Title 4 reset, but that is exactly where we are. Grimwood on the left of your screen as Coil, Rafa on the right of your side as Cobra, and both pretty much going to come in with similar arms, although it looks like we're going to get that fun shot back out from Grimwood, but they're not going to utilize it right now. They're going in with triple roaster against the Megawatt and the Popper. Rafa with the nerve to come in with 2 Poppers immediately, and they are not holding back here. Megawatt finally punches its way through, and obviously Grimwood has 3 different ways of being able to hit with that roaster now, but so far Rafa has just got this under control. Every single time the Megawatt seems to fly out, there's nothing Grimwood can do about it. Finally does get a punch on through, but the Popper and the Watt, they're both going to get cancelled out, and this time it is going to be Grimwood who gets the better of the exchange. Yeah,
Rafa wanted that a bit too much there. He was too close to really get the counter rush in there.
Again, going to see the Megawatt just miss on the left-hand side, and so far now Grimwood does have a better feel over this, but again just watches both of the roasters just punch clean off the Megawatt, and it just do nothing to it. It doesn't even slow it down. The Watt just continues on its merry way, and Grimwood cannot afford to get caught out with another one of those kind of hits. Rush is going to come out, but the trade in mid-air. Rafa just had the wherewithal to get that punch in, and the Rush is going to take that completely away from Grimwood. If there's a moment that is going to be crucial in the set, that was certainly it. And Grimwood is just going to one-up the ante. Gone are the triple roasters, now it's triple nade time. They're going to still have the Megawatt and the Popper. Rafa not going to change from that since it worked the first time of asking, and the grab again is going to wrestle control away from Coil. Goodness me, all of the explosions are coming out, and finally the Rush does come through. It just cancels out the Megawatt in its track and actually gets the grab as well. I don't think Rafa was quite expecting it, and we're going to see Grimwood start to slowly turn his back on its head, and this is the start that they needed in the previous point. Rafa doesn't quite have Rush to go yet, but again, now that they're in critical, you feel like Grimwood surely should not be able to lose this one.
Yeah, Grimwood also started to play way more patient in this round again. In the first round he was just really aggressive and just 1-2 punching the whole time, which didn't work out too good. And here you can even see like he baited out the rush from Rafa. He knew when he would be activating his rush from this angle, Rafa would try to counter rush. So he just shielded and then got the counter rush in. So really well played from Grimwood, keeping his cool here. And now this round is his time to shake things around for him.
Let's hope he can do exactly that with a very good play right at the end there, but the Popper is going to come on through and catches a self-destruct in the midst of all of that. But again, Grimwood's not going to let that deter them. They're going to come in and just commit all of the time here. As long as that Megawatt does not catch them, they should be able to keep this offense going. They do have Rush ready to go, so it's just going to be down to if they can catch Rafa off guard as they just slip and slide away. Invisibility not going to give them the surprise they were launching, though they do get a decent 1-2 effect, and slowly but surely they're poking Rafa down, but the Rush is going to be brutal against them, puts them on the cusp of critical.
Yeah, unfortunate here that he couldn't make it out of the rush quite, but he still, oh no, he burns his rush. I just wanted to say he still has his rush, but just a bit too impatient there, just trying to rush Rafa. And Rafa knew that right away and just shielded. And now Grimwood is just one punch away to lose this match, yeah. And that's 1-0 for Rafa in the reset.
That is.
But
go on.
at least I saw some improvement from Grimwood there again from the second round and onwards, just playing more patient again. If he keeps playing like this, he can definitely still do it.
We'll see what happens next here as we go into the second match. Rafa is on an absolute spree at the moment. They won 3-0 in the underground final, they've won 3-0 in the initial grand final, and now they have a 1-0 lead. Rafa has won 7 matches in a row at this point. And now we go to Ninja College. Now, we saw what happened last time round Rafa got taken here. They only just barely made it out with that point against Iceman's Lollipop, who is definitely trying to take advantage of the high ground. Now we've got a character who is going to do something similar in the form of Coil. So Rafa needs to keep Coil as not only as grounded as possible, but needs to keep the high ground themselves so that Coil cannot get any purchase of their height abilities.
Right, but right now Grimwood doesn't even seem to bother that much to stay on the lower ground. It works out for him quite nicely. Even though if Rafa manages to land his rush right now, which he doesn't, he would have got the advantage. And now Grimwood has the high ground and he has the rush, but Rafa gets a nice grab in there.
So far, Rafa just continues to just slip and slide around. Rush is finally going to come out from Grimwood to cancel out things. The last hit didn't make it though. It bounced off the wall, and Rafa's not going to get. Rafa gets away with it, and is going to quickly turn that back onto its head. A bit of a trade there. Grimwood gets further, but gets Rafa knocked down in the same process. Hydra going to keep Grimwood in a very dangerous position here. And Rafa knows one more hit will give them all the momentum they need going forward. The Hydra just about misses the Butcher, swatted out of the air, but the grab is finally going to do it.
Yeah, and if Rafa wins the next round, he's only one match away to win the second Moshpit, and therefore winning both Moshpits so far.
Yeah.
But he got hit out of his rush with the nade explosion, unfortunately. And Grimwood gets the grab, and now he has the rush. He has the health lead. It looks pretty good for him right now.
You feel like at this kind of stage, I mean, to be fair, Rafa is underneath the halfway mark, and every explosion is just catching Rafa out here. They're just consistently jumping into that nade, and a grab is going to come in, and suddenly this is a completely different Grimwood here. They're just looking for a grab, if anything, or even just a charged up nade will absolutely do it. But suddenly they're now back on the back foot. They know that Rafa has to do all of the work to get back into this point. A nice little nick from the Burchuk, but it just feels like surely it's close. But Rafa not only has rush, but they've got momentum back onto their side. They've got the grab up. Surely Rafa's not going to come back from this one as well. 40 seconds left on the clock. Grimwood is just looking for one more punch, and now they're into critical. And Rafa knows that they can sense another opportunity, but the grab is going to come out and finally takes it away.
What a nice grab. Grimwood just showing that this isn't over yet. He's still in there, and he wants to fight for the win.
Oh my goodness me, I honestly thought we were about to see another last-ditch comeback there, and it would have been classic Rafa to do something like that, but we are going to go into the third point of this second match. Grimwood, sticking with the roaster and nade combination, does catch Rafa out. They did so much damage in the early goings that they are going to come with the rush, but unfortunately it's not going to happen. Rafa has enough time, and Grimwood says, no, get back here, I am grabbing you. The counter rush now from Rafa, but only gets the initial stab again. The height elevation on Ninja College means that if you send them too far flying, especially too far down the steps, you're not going to get the second half of your rush to confirm. And that's exactly what happened there. Rafa still just slip and sliding away when the roaster does take them out of it, but the Hydra is still just niggling away there at Coil. And again, just these exchanges are crucial for Grimwood to win here. Rafa pretty much in critical. This could be it. Rush is going to come out, and that will catch Rafa. And Grimwood is finally going to stop this winning charge from Rafa, tying up the set. One apiece.
Yeah, good call from Grimwood just activating the rush there, because honestly, what should have Rafa done there? The shield was nearly broken, and the only place he could have moved to was a bit like to the right or left and back, but even then Grimwood would have catched him during that with Coil's movement, so it was a pretty safe rush to end this match for Grimwood there.
And with that, we are going to be moving into match number 3. And we're going to see what the bans are going to be. We are going to see Buster Beach coming back once again. Going to move right away from Ninja College. Let's see what Grimwood is going to be able to bring to the table on this occasion. I don't think any of them are going to really switch up the arms too much, but Grimwood has to come in with a different style of play here. They've got a Coolerang in the back pocket. Will we see it? Probably not. Oh, we do see it. Coolerang Nade is going to be the choice for Grimwood.
Yeah, and Rafa coming in with the default Cobra right now again.
Is going to immediately just square up on Grimwood. Rafa just... I love the fact that they are both playing characters that are very hard to hit sometimes, especially when they're not utilising the bolt. It's just going to... Well, I say you're not utilising the bolt. Rafa is utilising the Hydra. So the hits on the coil are moving a little bit more consistent here. And Grimwood has made this work already, but so far the Cool Ring isn't really doing much of the hitting. It's mostly the nades that are coming through, but look at the health difference already. Rafa has such a lead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure after this round we will see the Cooler Ring be taken off from Grimwood again. Because, as you said, it's not doing much for him here so far.
It's like, I can understand why the switch came in, but right now, against how Rafa is playing, it feels like the Cooler Ring is definitely not quite the pick to use. Whereas Rafa is just sticking with the with arms that definitely are working so far, and you can tell they've got the confidence to do so. Although, having said that, Grimwood is finally finding a way back into it. So they are going to nip into critical first. They do have, well, both have Rush ready to go, and it's going to be Rafa who unfortunately misses with the Hydra. Grimwood was quite far back as well anyway, but the Hydra is going to at least get the hit, and the grab is not going to give Grimwood the opportunity to go for anything else. Oh goodness me, it does give Grimwood a chance to use their rush early on into the start if they so wish, and they are going to use it right there and then. Roaster and Nade I think was the combination, and they have the finishing blow with the Roaster. Rafa losing a quarter of their health already, and caught with another little 1-2 pesky nibble from the two unguided gloves.
Yeah, and Grimwood at this point already has nearly as much rush charged up as Rafa, even though he just used one. But Rafa taking the health lead again, but after I said that, it's taken away from him again. And Grimwood manages to shield the rush and now has his rush again. So it looks really good for him right now if he can land that.
And the Rush is going to come up, and they do land it 305, sends Rafa into critical, and suddenly Grimwood is just a couple of punches away from taking back initiative a little bit. They've still got a fair bit of work to do, and Rafa is a punch away now. But we've seen Rafa come back from some incredible positions already. And with 30 seconds left on the clock, you feel like it's only a matter of time before Rafa tries to do something a little bit spicy, but it's not going to happen this time round. The nade, I do believe, does find its mark. So, one apiece on the set, one apiece in the match. Who will take the initiative now in the rest of the set going forwards? Oh, this we're going to find out. We're going to see the same arms coming in from pretty much both sides here. It's just every single time you see the slam come out, you just think, is it going to catch Coral this time? The grab at least does exactly that. Again, the Hydra just keeps nibbling away at Grimwood. Finally, the rush will come out, and Rafa not going to be able to protect it this time around. 315. Every single time you just see Rafa start to move forward, and Grimwood committed just a little too much there, and that's juggled in the hot pocket as a result, and there they will stay if Rafa has their way. Finally, Grimwood gets a crucial punch and gets them right back out of that situation.
Yeah, I was sure that the nade explosion would hit Rafa out of his rush again, but I think it was a bit too far away from him for that. And now, even though Grimwood is in critical already, he has the rush. He has Rafa cornered right now, but Rafa answers with a rush, with a grab against Grimwood's grab and gets the mana in, and that's 2-1 for Rafa right now. He only needs one more match to take the tournament.
Absolutely does, and there was a couple of moments there where I thought Coil might have still swiped that away. I was convinced that there was a grab that did connect, but it didn't quite register in time. And so with that, Rafa, as you say, is just one win away from forcing that reset bracket all the way to the end and retaining their title. Mausoleum is gonna be the call for Grimwood. We know how good both of these characters are on this stage. We want to see if Grimwood can turn this around into their favor. We see the Triblast in the back there. You probably know they're going to come out, and they do indeed alongside the Roaster. Rafa coming in with the Hydra and the Slam. And so far the duel is just about even here. Grimwood obviously wants to just stay in the air for as long as possible. Those Hydras are making it very hard for them to do so, but now they've got a little bit of a counter of their own, but so far not able to really properly utilize the bolts as the Hydra continues to just hit.
Yeah, and Grimwood just gets a nice 1-2 there, and after that even the... Oh! What a nice rush confirm. Out of catching the jump with, I think it was the nade, the roaster, and then activating rush as Rafa was falling down still.
Rafa tried to go for a similar kind of play, unfortunately didn't quite make it stick on this occasion, and as a result Grimwood is going to kindly take that point right away from them.
Yeah, that was a bit too overconfident from Rafa there. Just with that, he just gets into the next round without his rush, which isn't that great for him since Grimwood already has his rush set up pretty much at this point.
Arm weak on the left hand side for Rafa, and they have to be very careful here, and that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Double committed there, and Grimwood completely punished them for it. Yes, their health has been sliced down, and Rafa will have their rush to go now, but crucially Grimwood has all of the momentum here, and Rafa will need something special here if they want to take this win right here and now, because they are into critical, and Grimwood gets a grab as well. One more punch, literally anything will do from Grimwood. Heck, they've got a rush of their own if they really want to seal it. They're down past the halfway mark. Will we be seeing match 5? No, not yet. We're not. Rafa goes for the rush. They had to kind of get something out of this, and the rush comes out from Grimwood, but it's not going to happen on this occasion. They're going to have to do this the hard way. This is going to be incredibly close. Both are pretty much a punch away from going down here. The Hydra doesn't quite connect. 30 seconds left on the clock, and the Hydra's going to get them. Rafa hangs on for dear life and puts themselves on championship point.
That was so unfortunate because Rafa got the restand with his rush, and then you could see Grimwood just activating his rush right away and then just standing there. I think he just fat fingered that actually, which is really unfortunate because right now it looks so good for Rafa. Like, he kind of, Grimwood unfortunately just threw that round away with that, and now he really needs to fight to bring that back.
He absolutely does. He's already on the cusp of going under halfway. Rafa still has a pretty decent amount of health on their side. The Tri-Blasts are just not going through as consistently as Grimwood would like to. Rush is going to come out. The counter rush initially came out, but Grimwood had to choose the better part of it, and I had to block out the whole of that. Both arms are weak as a result, and now Grimwood is on the cusp of critical, and the arm is down, but they just about pip Rafa out of the air, and the trampoline opens up as well. Will this change the complexion of this set? You absolutely bet it will, because Coil just pretty much ignores the trampoline, whereas Rafa still has to interact with it, and you can see Grimwood is just utilizing that space immediately. Grab is going to come out, and look at how much confidence now Grimwood has. Surely a match 5 might be coming, but the hit comes in from the Hydra. Grimwood has to be very careful. The rush hits, but it slides Rafa to the side, and that's game. That is game. Rafa is a winner. Rafa retains the title.
Oh my god, can you believe that? What just happened?
Oh my gosh, I'll tell you exactly what happened there. Grimwood was operating on all manner of confidence. The second that trampoline came out, you knew for a fact that Grimwood was going to be absolutely fine with that. They went for the rush, they hit the initial part of it, but Rafa just got knocked to the side enough for them to get the shield up, block the rest of it out, and had enough time to ping in with the rush right at the tail end of it, and that rush hit Grimwood square on, and goodness me, takes the set for Rafa. Rafa goes into a bracket reset and retains the Mosh Pit title. Oh my word, what an ending.
I must say I'm a bit sad for Grimwood there. Not the last round, because he just whiffed his rush there, unfortunately. But the round before that, where he just activated rush out of nowhere, I'm 100% sure that wasn't intentional, and that was just, he threw the whole match away with that. It's just sad to see.
It absolutely is, but it's moments like that that just change everything. And Rafa, goodness me, after losing 3-1 to Grimwood in winners final, beats Iceman straight 3-0, beats Grimwood 3-0 in the initial final. One of those matches was a double perfect, and then coming in with a 3-1 win. I honestly thought Grimwood was going to take that around. They had at least 2 chances there in that last set to tidy it away, but like I said, if anybody could come back from very dire situations, it is Rafa, and that's exactly what they do on this occasion. So the top standings are as follows. Rafa wins, successfully retaining the title. Grimwood will finish 2nd instead of 3rd this time round, so it's a promotion from them at the very least. And Iceman, a demotion from them. They were 2nd last time out. They now finish 3rd on this occasion. Coming home in 4th, just missing out on the podium places, is Junior. And then between Yam and Okrim, I think Yam had the better of the matches. So I think Yam would officially be 5th, but I feel like they're going to be tied in either case, so they'll split their respective pools. But yeah, Yam and Okrim will at least split that down in the 5th places. And remember, that's how far down the prize pot goes. 1st place gets 45%, 2nd place gets 25%, 3rd place 10%, 4th place 8%, and both of the 5th place finishers will get 6% each. With that...
Exactly. Oh, wait, we can't go yet. Because I see in chat Yoshi Bowser and Iceman wanting to see a commentator Power Mummy match, but I suggest something else because the mosh pit in the logo it has 2 lockjaws, so I suggest I offer you a match, just Mummy, double lockjaw, let's go.
Yeah, that's right. Let's pair the individual who is not able to play ARMS at the competitive level that you all go at against one of the high level players in Europe. What could possibly go wrong?
It's just double lockjaw, so anything can happen. Who knows?
I don't play Lockjaw, nor do I play Mummy, but I'll give it a try. I will give it a try. I do need to set up for Mummy, so it's double Lockjaw. I take it.
Yeah, only lockjaws. No other arm.
That's okay.
But yeah, at this point, I also want to say thanks for all the people involved with that, like the players who just showed us amazing matches today. Of course, all the viewers here. It was great to see you in chat. All the people donating to the prize pot. This is the 2nd time that the mosh pit had over 200 euros or dollars in the first one, but now over 200 euros in the prize pool. That's amazing, and that's just possible because of the community doing this amazing stuff. And of course, big thanks to you, Tamashi, for commentating yet again. It's always amazing to have you.
Thank you, I do appreciate that, and well, let's get this over with.
Let's go.
Oh.
No!
Come here! That's probably the best move I'll ever make against you.
Oh, I also see you turn Sky Arena on for this.
Look! If I have to play this...
To be honest, it also really fits the theme of the tournament, I think, color-wise and just from the aesthetics.
Oh my gosh, I'm quickly remembering how bad Mummy jumps.
Just a huge double lockjaw explosion during the rush. Oh
Pretty much, like it's all that filled my screen there. Oh my god. Whoever loses has to pay. I cannot pay anything.
I mean, actually, I will pay a bit to the prize pool again anyway, because right now it's 204 euros, and I don't like that. I at least will get it to 210, just to even out the number. Because why not? The players deserve that, I think.
Yes, they absolutely do. They've put on an absolute show for us here.
how fast the arms actually break from just 2 lockjaws. I can actually see that work and actually matches. Just oh,
Yay!
I should have just punched with one first and then get the other one.
Ah!
Get in here.
Yeah, there you go.
210 damage from just the grab.
Yeah. I think we all saw that coming. Dear me. Well, GG's.
GG's. But yeah, again, this tournament was super fun. Again, like the first one already. There definitely will be a third mosh pit. I already have a time window in mind of when I want to do it, and I also already have some ideas for it. So it will be a bit different. I mean, it will still be a normal tournament, but there will be some extras around it, I would say. But yeah. Again, thanks to everyone in here, to the players, and to Tamashi. And yeah, with that, the Mosh Pit 2 ends. We had amazing matches, and I hope you all have a nice evening.
Absolutely. But before you go, Riffer,
Yeah.
where can people find you?
Oh, right. I mean, you can always just message me in Discord. Just search for Rifa. I should just be there. Or look at the. Wait, maybe I can actually find.
Oh.
No, I just want to see if I can find the Discord link. If any European players are still in the chat that aren't part of the European Discord right now, you can just join in here. It's a really nice and lovely community. It's tiny, but yeah, there are tournaments all the time. And yeah, you will basically find all the active European players in there. So if you're not part of that already, you should definitely join. And otherwise, if you just want to, yeah, you will also find me there in the Discord, but you can also just go to my Twitter when I have it ready. There it is. Yeah. Right. And I guess at this point I can also plug your Twitter when we are already at it.
Aw, thank you very much. Yeah, pretty much. I'm pretty much Tamashi Kancho on everything. It should be relatively easy to find me. And obviously, if you are wanting to get involved with European Arms, as Riffer has kindly pointed out, we've got the Discord link in the chat, and it will also be in the description below as well. We've also got our YouTube channel, and we've also got the Twitter, which is at European_arms. With all that being said, thank you so much, everybody. As Riffer has said, all of the people in chat, all those who took part, and everybody behind the scenes to make this tournament work. It has been a lot of fun, and with that being said, I have been Tamashi Kancho. Thank you very much again, Riffer, for joining us for the second half of this tournament. And with that being said, take care of yourselves and stay fresh.
Good night. Good night, everybody.